Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome everybody to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, along with G. Bush and the banged-up Tyvis Powell. Questionable for today's first game of the playoffs. I'm Adam the Bull. We got Mike, Anthony, and Steve on the other side of the glass.
We got to get to that off
You're
top.
You're a mess, man.
What's
going on with you?
Off the top.
You're supposed to be the best athlete in here. What the hell happened?
I don't know. That's the scary. The scariest part is that I don't have an answer.
So
Tyvis came in limping.
So when you say scared,
yeah,
I don't like that because that goes to your life points. That means something that happened to a point where it's just like, do I got to get surgery on this?
No,
that's not happening. I don't know. I woke up on Sunday morning and I just could not really walk with my left leg. So
you got to go to PT, man.
Hold on.
I do at home PT.
Hold on.
So I got on the great Google because Google got all the answers.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out what my symptoms are. Just a swollen knee, and I can't really bend my knee right now.
Do they think it's connected to that thing you did the other? What's it called again?
It is potentially. It could have something to do with that. Your body could just overreact to it.
All right.
It was my last session of it, so body could just overreact.
What's it called again for the fans who are listening?
It's regenerative medicine. It's like a PRP type shot.
Right. Oh, okay, yeah. That could be.
Did that? And you had no adverse reactions when your other sessions?
No, every time I did it, it's been good. This is the only time that I've dealt with some swelling, this was my last session of it.
Huh.
So yeah. And I got that done. That was last Wednesday, so it's almost been a week since I got that done. And I was good Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday when I came home and went to sleep because I had to go do the Browns. When I woke up, I had to get up and leave at 8, but I woke up at 4 because I couldn't sleep because my leg was hurting.
Yeah.
So it's been going since Sunday.
Are you going to go to an orthopedist maybe?
We'll see.
All right, take care of yourself.
I got to figure something out. I don't need the leg.
Maybe this is from the race you ran with, what's his name?
No,
Kenyon,
because that was
Kenyon Barner?
That was 2 weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago.
I don't know, man. You're getting
I
old.
feel like I don't need my leg necessarily until Saturday.
Okay.
If it's not good by Friday,
where are you going Saturday?
Purdue.
Okay. And then Sunday, are you doing the Browns from home since it's crack of dawn game?
From Columbus, yes.
All right, that's good.
Thank you.
G. Bush has got his Georgetown jersey on.
Yes, sir.
And so that, of course, led me to, 80s Biggie's flashbacks from when I was a kid, which was fun time.
Best basketball.
Allen Iverson?
Yeah, that's AI. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AI. You know what I'm saying? I came up with an era where it was Boubacar Al, Jahidi White, Victor Page, Allen Iverson. So obviously the great John Thompson with the towel.
With the towel. The funniest was when Georgetown would play St. John's back in those days, and you had John Thompson, who was, 6'8", 300 pounds, and Lou Carnesecca of St. John's, who was like 5'8", 150 pounds. They looked so funny next to each other.
5'8" player.
He wasn't a player.
Oh.
He was the coach. John Thompson.
Yeah.
You don't know John Thompson, the coach at Georgetown?
No.
Jeez, Tyvis, you're young.
His son was the
His son was the coach later. Didn't have as much success, but
I'm
a 90s kid, so.
He doesn't know John Thompson.
Man, that's wild.
Never heard of him.
You're going to get killed in the chat right now.
Hey,
they don't know.
Anybody over
they don't even know.
35.
Anybody knows who Big John Thompson.
You know who John Thompson is, right?
You know
one
who
of the most legendary college basketball coaches.
How older than you than Tyvis? Not
you know
much.
who John
4
Thompson
months.
is? John Thompson is the name of my father, allegedly.
Is that your father's name, John Thompson?
John Thompson, allegedly.
He said it.
What if that was your actual? What if he was your actual dad, the coach?
That's not funny.
If he's 5'8", I'd question my mother.
That's true. No, John Thompson's like 6'8".
Yeah, 6'8".
Or I don't know how tall he was.
What you just said?
I said Luke Carnesecca, the St. John's coach, was like 5'8".
Back then, we talked about the historical coaches. You had Boeheim.
Big John
Patino.
Thompson is listed at 6'10", 310.
He's 6'10", John Thompson?
According to
was
Wikipedia, 6'10", 310.
And he'd always have a white towel on his shoulder.
And, you know, back then, the classic college coaches, man. Now, listen, him and Jerry Tarkanian, he used to bite on his towel.
Is he the third? John Thompson the third?
No, John Thompson the third.
Yeah,
What's his
John
son?
Thompson was the second,
This
probably.
dude.
That's John Thompson. That's Big John Thompson.
I've seen this guy.
Coach Patrick Ewing. Then he coached Patrick Ewing's son.
For those who don't know, Patrick Ewing was as great a college basketball player as I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
And I think this is crazy because he played for a New York team. It's not supposed to happen. I think Patrick Ewing is one of the most underrated players in the history of the NBA.
Yes.
That guy was an absolute stud.
I mean,
but he never won a championship. He came close, obviously.
Got dunked on by Mike.
Mike was doing a lot
Mike did a lot of dunking on him.
Mike did a lot of dirt to a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Stockton, Malone, no rings. Ewing, no rings. Barkley, no rings. You got to think about it.
Kevin Johnson, Thunder Dan Marley.
No one was getting rings back then. It hurt their soul.
Tom Chambers.
The whole Toronto Raptors team didn't get a ring because of Bron.
Oh, them and the Hawks.
Would the Raptors have really won a title?
I mean,
They was good.
The Rosen and what's the name could have swore they was doing.
They would have had to play the Warriors.
Yeah, you're right.
They weren't going to beat the Warriors.
I mean, technically,
What's that?
technically, the Raptors did beat the Warriors in a championship.
They had Kawhi.
They had Kawhi.
Yeah, but that was later.
I'm just saying,
Well, Katie-
technically,
Katie
the
got
Raptors
hurt.
did beat
Katie
the
popped-
Warriors.
Yeah,
in
but
the
those
championship.
teams, when they thought they were good against LeBron, those teams would not have beaten Golden State.
I agree. I'm just saying. You said the Raptors.
No,
would never beat the
you're
Warriors.
right, but that was a
Technically-
different. That was a different era,
team.
kind of a different half. An
And they
era,
only
maybe.
won because injuries and Clay tore his
yeah.
Achilles.
Can we say this?
Yeah.
Right now, we tripping. I drove in, and downtown is already lit.
Yeah, it is.
There are
Buzzing.
Guardians people everywhere. People out 2 hours early. All the fly girls and the honeys is out. I say, yo, I ain't even Guardians fans.
The fly girls.
All the college girls.
Is Arsenio Hall here?
All the fly ones. Everybody is out there. Dudes that look like they've been working out all winter.
Yeah.
I'm like, you ain't no Guardians fan. We didn't even see you out there, bro.
Yeah.
It's all kind of people ready to go.
All right, we're gonna get into the Browns later. Mary Kay Cabot's gonna join us. Sean King's gonna join us. But a lot of Guardians talk as the playoffs begin, as G just alluded to. First, a read from Mike.
Yeah, and they just announced their lineup, which I'll tell you about their game one lineup. I know
Okay.
it's going to piss ball off in a second, so we'll tell you that.
Manzardo better be in that lineup.
In a minute, we'll find out after a quick word from FanDuel. Guys, the NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet $5, and if that bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet. We got about 6 FanDuel tickets submitted to us this weekend. Tomorrow at the end of the show, we're going to show you all those FanDuel tickets, including the biggest winning ticket bowl we've ever had submitted on the show. So tomorrow, before Super Chats, we're going to get into all 6 of those. I didn't want to spread them out. I want to do it all at once and give everyone the love they deserve. So we're going to do that tomorrow before Super Chats. If you have a winning FanDuel ticket, send it in, and we'll feature them tomorrow on our FanDuel winning tickets segment. But guys, let's dive into the Guardians.
I'm okay with the lineup. I mean, I wanted. You got it? You want me to read it to people?
You can read it, yeah.
All right, so for the Guardians, Stephen Kwan leading off in left. Angel Martinez is batting second in center field.
Okay.
Jose, of course, hitting third at third. Jonathan Rodriguez is hitting fourth, playing right field. I love that, but, it's not like they have great options.
No disrespect to Jonathan Rodriguez, but is he the worst cleanup hitter in game one of a playoff
I
series
mean,
ever?
Probably. I can't say for sure off the top of my head, but I can't imagine there's been one worse.
He going yard just because y'all saying.
Yeah, right. Gabriel, Kyle Manzardo is in the lineup, so I'm
Yeah,
happy. I would have
cool.
been pissed if he were out.
Cool. As long as-
I'd like to see Kafis in there. He's not, but I could live with that. I would have had him in there, but anyway, Manzardo's hitting fifth, playing DH. Gabriel Arias is hitting sixth at short. Rocchio's batting seventh, playing second base. John Kenzie at Noel at first base. I would have
Let's go.
I would have had Kafis instead of John
Talk your
Kenzie.
stuff, Tyvis.
But your guy, Tyvis.
Talk your
Come
stuff.
on now. They
And
know what it
Austin
is.
Hedges batting ninth. I mean, you could argue Bo Naylor. Obviously, Hedges has played in these games against Skubal even though he can't hit. Listen, I think Hedges plays in the Skubal games because they know every run's at a premium, and in the end, Hedges is a little better at some of the little things of catching than Bo Naylor. Listen. The lineup is what it is. It's not very good.
Yeah, whatever they got.
As long as the only thing I would have been really pissed is if Manzardo was out of the lineup.
What that line
and I think they smartened up.
It screams potential.
There is some potential.
They got some hitters potentially.
Yeah.
They show up. I mean, last time my boy seen Tarik Skubal.
Yeah.
Took him right out.
I mean, what did you think of his form on the long snap on that play? Could he be? Does he have a future as a long snapper?
Why did he
I have no idea.
Wow.
Is that like the quickest way to get the ball?
I guess supposedly he'd done it once before and it didn't work that time either. So supposedly because it's a lefty, it was a weird angle. He felt like it was the only way they can get it. He can get it in time, but you just got to eat the ball in that situation. But
I'm glad he did it.
Yeah. I'll give you the Tigers lineup for the Tigers. Leading off in left field, Parker Meadows. Batting second, Gleyber Torres, the second baseman. Matt Carpenter, who we know has had a lot of success against the Guardians, is hitting third. Spencer Torkelson, cleanup. Riley Green's in left field, hitting fifth. Wenzel Perez is hitting sixth. He's in right field. The catcher, Dylan Dingler, is batting seventh. The third baseman, Zach McKinstry, eighth. And Javi Baez, the shortstop, batting ninth. We know the pitchers are Skubal and Gavin Williams. The Guardians, by the way, did announce later in the day yesterday that Slade Ciccone would pitch Game 3, if there is a Game 3. He also said that Bybee will pitch Game 2, but I think we all assumed that would be the case. There was a question about who would start Game 3. Something to keep in mind in terms of the 1 p.m. starts. That Thursday game time could change depending on, obviously, if the Guardians are playing that day. We don't know that.
If other series are sweeps.
Right. The odds of all 4 series going 3 games are slim. So probably if the Guardians are playing on Thursday, that game time would change. What time it's going to change to would depend on how many of the other series. Like it or not, the Guardians are the lowest priority in terms of TV for the 4 series. That's why they're playing at 1 o'clock.
What you mean, like it or not? We know that was what it was.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you got the Yankees playing the Red Sox, and then the other 2 matchups one has the Cubs, one has the Dodgers. It's top 3 market teams,
Yeah, they're looking around like, you better hope you get to the second round.
We'll
you nervous for your Cubs?
I think they're going to lose.
To the Padres?
Padres, yes. I mean, so I'm like, I guess I'm excited to watch them too. I'm excited to watch both, but I think they're going to lose. I think the Guardians are going to win. I think the Cubs are going to lose.
You are already on record by saying that if they were to meet again,
that I would root for the Guardians.
You would be rooting for the Guardians.
But we don't necessarily believe that.
That is cap.
Yeah,
I can't say for sure how I'm going to feel emotionally. Right now, I want the Guardians to win the World Series more because I have had that moment. I would like to have another moment. I don't want it at the expense. I wish it wasn't at the expense of the Indians the first time around. I wish it was against any other team. And this year, if the Guardians do get to the World Series, I'm hoping it's not against the Cubs. I know it doesn't make any sense. I can't really explain it, but that is what it is. We'll see what happens when we get there. I don't think the Cubs are good enough to get to the World Series. I don't think the Guardians are good enough either. But the Guardians are playing with a little momentum or mojo right now. The Cubs don't have.
They got the Game Genie. You ever remember Game Genie when he was playing Nintendo? Put it in the chat if you remember. Yeah. Game Genie used to be like the thing you put on your video games to put it in, and it gives you all cheat codes.
Just like a Zen.
Yeah.
But why would you want that, though? I never understood that. Then it's too easy to play. Isn't it boring if the game's too easy?
I agree with you, right? But that's where we are in gaming, in the gaming world
Well,
today.
if you go back to the old school games like Contra, bro, you're not built. Contra, if you die, you start all the way over. Ain't no redos.
I was never much of a video game player. Never. I just was never into it.
I thought you play Aaron and Madden.
I mean, I do once in a while, but I don't really. I play it just because he wants me to play. I don't really want to. I don't really love it. I get into it when we're playing, but
it's a nice way to be competitive.
Yeah,
for me.
It's nothing. I'm hoping that after I have my weight loss surgery and hopefully get in better shape, that he and I will be able to just go play some hoop more.
That would be nice. That's much better.
Yeah.
It's a 3-game series in these first round. In a 3-game series, I feel like anything can happen.
Yeah, of course.
Anything can happen.
Sure.
Are you a fan of these opening round series being just best of 3s, or would you prefer them be best of 5s?
You can't be best of 5 because then the teams on a bye have to sit for too long. Like they already, that's the problem. This round used to be, it was just one game.
Right.
I think 3's perfect because it gives you a chance to have one screw up, and
the best team's going to win, most likely.
Yeah, often, but, it gives you a chance. And the higher seeded team gets a big advantage by being home for potentially all 3 games.
So it means something to win the division.
It means something to win the division or be the higher wild card of the 4 or 5 seed. And so there's something to play for there. But I like it. You already have, like, the teams that got the byes are sitting out 5 days. They last played Sunday. They don't play again until Saturday. That's already a long time to not play. You can't. If you played a 5-game series, they'd have to sit over a week.
McNuggets, I'm here to tell you, I like it so much. The NBA should be looking at that.
Absolutely.
All these 7-game series, bro.
It's ridiculous.
And you were the 8 seed for a reason, big dog.
Isn't the WNBA like that? The first
I
round
think
is
the
3?
WNBA is 3 games and then the championship is 5, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they don't go past 5. Guys.
Only championship that you would get 7
Yeah.
is in the NBA Finals. We're gonna go 3, 5, 7.
I agree. They
don't
should
disagree.
3 in the first round. Yeah, 3 in the first round, 5 in the quarters.
Go ahead, get it over
Yeah,
with.
And then 7 in the conference final, 7 for the
All
championship.
that you ain't got no, because half them teams don't even be having no opportunity to do nothing.
I
You
know.
like, come on,
the first round is complete. First round used to be 5.
Yeah,
They only went to 7. I want to say in the last 10 years.
Y'all want to take
Maybe a
away
little
some,
longer
y'all
than
want to
that.
take y'all want player safety anyway.
3, 5, 7.
Three,
They do it
5,
for
7,
they do it
5.
for money.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So you know what you do? Have the championship be 9 games.
No.
Best of 51.
Have first round 3, second round 5, third round 7, championship 9.
But
Cavs and 10.
Do you think? Do you feel like? And I asked this other question. Do you feel like you done seen this team so many times in the last couple of days that it's kind of like I don't like that.
I don't feel that way personally, but there certainly is that sentiment, I think, from a lot of fans. I think there's a lot of fans that are like, we've beaten the Tigers up so badly lately. I feel like it's bad. Like that tide's got to turn eventually.
Skubal got to have.
But
a
you
good
know
game
what? It doesn't
eventually.
always turn. The Yankees have been kicking the Twins' ass for like 20 years. So I believe that the Guardians feel like unbeatable right now. They're super high confident. And here's the thing. If the Guardians lose tonight to Skubal, I believe they can still come back and win games 2 and 3.
Yes.
If the Tigers lose tonight with Skubal,
It's
good
done.
night.
Yeah, it's
They're
done.
done. There's no way they're winning 2 in a row without
Yeah,
Skubal.
yeah, because then it's like, how many times have they beat us with our best pitcher on the mound?
Right.
And especially if they beat them in a way where Skubal pitches well.
They beat Skubal the last
Right,
2
which would be
times.
likely.
Well, yeah,
That
right.
would be a likely way they'd win. That Skubal pitches well, but listen, Gavin Williams has pitched great against Detroit. He pitched against they've won both the games he's pitched in the last 2 weeks against them. I get it. You could argue that there's an advantage for the hitters because they've now seen these guys. It's going to be the 3rd time that they've seen Skubal and Williams in the last couple of weeks. So I would think that's an advantage for the hitters. But as much as I don't love the Guardians lineup, as it's not great, the Tigers lineup's not great either. It's a little better than the Guardians.
You've been saying that since the beginning of
Right,
the
I
year.
just don't think their lineup's that good. In fact, they don't have a player, like Jose's the best player between the 2 teams.
By far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tigers don't have one star on offense. They have
Spencer Torkelson.
4 good hitters. But Torkelson's like is a more experienced Kyle Manzardo. That's what he is. He's like a home run. He doesn't do much else besides hit home runs. Like he's a good player.
Gary Carpenter.
Good player.
Riley Green's their best offensive player.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be a superstar if you only play against righties, and that's what Kerry Carpenter does. If you're only playing one way,
That is wild. That is wild.
You're not that good.
That's the high school rules,
They
Tyvis.
did that to Kyle Manzardo.
Well, but Kyle Manzardo's in his first full year in the big leagues. Carpenter's been in the big leagues a while now.
If you play high school football in the state of Ohio, you can't be no dog unless you play both ways.
Yeah.
Jock
I mean,
Peterson.
Jason Lloyd's son's playing every single play of the game.
Jock
in
Peterson.
ninth grade.
Special teams too.
Jock Peterson's not a star. He's a good player.
He not a star.
No, 100% no. In fact, he had a terrible season.
Jock Peterson?
Yeah.
Who said he's a star?
Tyvis.
Tyvis.
I don't know if he said he was a star.
What?
Last year,
I respect his game.
he's right. 2024, he had a very good season. Besides that, he's been just a pretty good player. There's no superstars that only play against righties or lefties.
Here's what I will say though. Here's how this gonna work out.
Yeah.
See, now it's playoff time. And Gavin Williams can still keep putting it together. See, the difference between him and Bobby is most people would say Gavin Williams has the size. He has a more imposing physique. He has a more bigger arm, bigger stuff. And if he can come and take what he did at the end of the season and move that into the playoffs where he does become a true number one, you done made yourself a lot of money, big dog.
Oh yeah,
well, I mean the Guardians ain't gonna pay.
Somebody will.
That Bobby deal is peanuts. If he comes,
you're right.
That's Minimowski.
This is it because he's pitched like an ace. Especially the second half of the year, and he seems to be establishing himself as an ace. But where you really establish that, you're 100% right.
Playoffs.
Is in the postseason.
Let me ask
That's where you become a superstar.
Do you think they kicking themselves over the fact that they traded Bieber?
I don't think so because
how's he been with the Blue Jays?
Very good. And one bad start and like one or two that were okay, and then he's like had 3 that were very good. Okay. He's been good. A lot more good than bad. And yes, if you told me, could I have Shane Bieber back on this team? Of course, I'd want him on the team. He'd be one, at worst, my third starter, and he'd probably be pitching the first game. Well, maybe not the first game, but he'd be my third starter at worst. However, right now the pitching, the starting pitching is the strength of the team.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather have Josh Naylor.
Right.
That's another story for another day.
Hey, is there anybody on this roster that potentially can elevate their game in terms of what they're doing offensively to where, I call them like X factors. Like, they don't really do nothing, but they can get streaky. Yeah. And if they catch a streak, you can look up and they say, wow, this guy's really been hitting the baseball well, like in the postseason where they could take the offense from putrid to respectable.
All right, so we can't put, obviously, Jose, Quan, and even Manzardo.
Yeah, you got those guys
are the 3 hitters that have had at least good seasons. So
Brian Rocchio.
Rocchio did it last year in the playoffs. That's certainly possible. The problem with some of these guys, like in my mind, I'm like, well, Bo Naylor could get hot, but he's not going to play every game.
Right.
And CJ Kafis, I could see, but he's also not going to play every game. So I'll say
Big Christmas.
I'm going to say
Great
Angel
answer.
Martinez. Because Angel is a guy who is very hot and cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when he's hot, he can get really hot there for a couple days a week. So I could see him having a big series potentially.
Yeah, because last year.
And he's going to play, well, I don't know that he'll play every game.
We looked at Fry, David Fry caught.
Yeah, right.
David Fry caught fire a little bit, right, in those first couple of series. So
maybe Arias. Arias might be the guy. He is going to play every game.
Man, it would be great if it was him.
Hold on. Excuse me?
Well, you didn't get your 17 home runs.
No. It's still up.
Not even close.
It's still up for grabs. We said we counting the postseason.
Oh, how many does he have?
11.
Yeah, what are the odds he's going to hit 6 home runs in the postseason?
It'd be the greatest postseason in his life.
In most people's lives.
That's
he ain't Reggie Jackson.
No, he ain't Arias.
Get up there and start smashing.
Arias Bonds. Arias Bonds hit 7 home runs in the postseason, bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
If Arias hit 7 home runs in the postseason, the Guardians going to win a lot of games.
Check that man's bat.
Got that Albert Bell.
Do they still
brought
do
the
that?
torpedoes back.
It wouldn't shock me.
Hand me that bat.
I haven't seen that in a long time. I feel like the last time I saw it was Sammy Sosa. Remember the cork bowls came flying out? I don't know if we've had one since then. I can't remember, but
they was like Sammy get the most off there. They let you. So first of all, it wasn't enough that you had the needle. You was getting the needle to the thigh, the clear and the cream, and you quirked your bat. And you got lighter.
Yeah, but
He got lighter.
Sammy was one of the greatest showmen in the history of baseball. I mean,
get it off.
Dude, the hop after the home run. First, he had the hop after the home run.
Right.
Then he had.
Yeah.
And then. Remember he would run out to the outfield with the American flag.
Oh, they let him get that
nuts.
off. Listen. In a communist country, they'd have got him out of there for that. Don't you dare come running in with full. And he was running fast because that flag was behind. It was at full staff. He was just running like this.
Y'all funny.
Sammy was the best.
Sammy Sosa.
I forgot he did that.
That is crazy work.
Did you see his skin is like back?
Oh, he's black again.
He's black again.
Man.
I have not.
Did you see that? Because
man.
you know he had I don't know what happened to him.
Bleached himself.
Man, he had, bro.
Sammy, that can you?
Yeah, Sammy was in.
Mike did it.
But he looked like he was something wrong with him. I don't know what happened.
He went through 3, and he got plastic surgeries. He looked like every version of Elizabeth Taylor.
But now, the Cubs he and the Cubs are back together. So he finally got honored at Wrigley Field this year.
Fine, okay,
and he was there, and I'm like, he looks like Sammy again.
That was part of him telling him, hey, listen, and for us to put you in the Ring of Honor, you got to go back to being African American.
Sammy went from dark skin Aunt Viv to the Red Bowl.
Well, for today's game.
Yeah.
Best pitcher matchup you could ask for Williams versus Skubal. It's the third time in basically 2 weeks the guards are going to face Skubal.
Right.
We talked before the second matchup, who has the advantage, the lineup or the pitcher when it's that
I think
quick
the
of a turnaround.
lineup, without a doubt.
In the third time around, do you still favor the lineup in terms of who
100%.
has a slight advantage?
Yeah, I think the lineup's got an edge here, which is why I saw the over-under in this game was 6, which is crazy. That's crazy.
Take the under.
And a lot of people are going to take the under. I like the over in this game. I said it this morning. I think it's going to be 5-4, 4-3, something like that. The Guardians are, I think, plus 140.
Yeah, they're underdogs.
Yeah, they're underdogs in the series.
Yeah.
And that's because
Skubal's going tonight.
The Skubal's going tonight, and the team that wins the first game of the series almost always wins this. I don't know if they've always won. I know 12 of the 14 series, best of 3, the team that won game 1 won game 2.
Sure.
I don't know what happened in the other 2. I don't know if the other team won both of the other games. I think the Dodgers one time lost one and then won the next 2.
I don't understand. Sure. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with the fact that they just the favorites in this series. I mean, I get you would give them the edge in the game 1, but you would kind of have to take in the fact that what's happened in recent memory. Don't you have to?
Yeah, I think you should, but I don't understand why the Tigers are favorites at all. I think
they think that
it's ignoring the last month of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think obviously when they make the lines, they take emotion out of it to some degree, which you can't do totally, but you can't make it all about emotion. And they say, listen, Skubal usually pitches great. Mm-hmm. They're saying, who's more likely to be dominant, Skubal or Gavin Williams? And they say it's Skubal, and it probably is.
That's fair.
Even though Gavin Williams is likely to pitch really great too. And it should be a very low-scoring game. And so they're going to lean towards the guy with the longer track record. But I think the Guardians are at home. I don't think they're accounting the fragility, I think, that the Tigers have. If something goes wrong for the Tigers, that could snowball, right? Plus, here's another big thing. Skubal, the last time he pitched, he hit David Fry in the face. Mm-hmm. We all saw what happened after that with his reaction. He was completely shaken up by that, was he not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was, 6-7 days ago, 8, whatever it was?
Same background, same
It's
stadium.
the same stadium.
Same everything.
He walks back on that mound. I know he's not going to face David Fry, but, we don't know what his psyche is right now. Maybe he's locked in and he pitched the best game of his life.
He better be locked in. He didn't got taken to the woods.
I don't know, man.
Well, I take it to the woods shit, but he lost the last 2 times.
And the Guardians have just got to be looser. Because the Guardians...
You need Josh Naylor.
Who is...
Nobody.
Who is loose? Because for me, I think it'll help the Guardians.
Jose
the Guardians,
Ramirez.
If they come out and give me 2 runs, and they go up 2-0.
Oh,
now Skubal has to press because in his mind he's like, I can't give up nothing else.
Very important. I agree with that totally. Very important for Gavin Williams to go 1-2-3.
Yeah.
I mean, just put up a 0, but I'd really like him to go 1-2-3 and look dominant in the top of the first because I think the Tigers, they're tight. I think they're going to be tight. And if they fall behind, if the Guardians fall behind, they're going to stay loose.
Yeah.
If the Guardians, even if they lose game 1, it puts you in a tough spot. I still think they're going to be loose. The Tigers lost a division title that they had a 15.5 game lead. And if they lose tonight, they're going to have no confidence.
The Guardians is loose because they playing with house money.
Do you think the players really believe that? Is that something, as a player, did you ever feel that way?
What, that I'm playing with house money? Depending on what, not if I'm in the playoffs. I'm thinking we on cloud 9. We the hottest team in
Right.
baseball.
And
right
so,
now.
like, I don't
We
know
just
that the players
rolling.
feel that way, but
I'm saying,
yeah.
is they playing with house? They shouldn't even have been in this position to begin with.
That's true. And think about this. Like, I don't know if players care about this or not, but I'll throw it out there because it could be a factor. If the Guardians lose this series, nobody that covers baseball for a living is going to rip the Guardians. They're going to be like, man, what a story. They came back. We didn't expect much.
Not even guys like me going to rip them.
Nah, you can't rip them.
You be like, all right.
You could rip the owner again. You go back. We'll rip him in the offseason for not spending on offense. But you're not going to rip the team. You're not going to rip the manager. If the Tigers lose, it just continues the story of one of the worst collapses in the history of baseball, and they're going to get killed.
Tyvis, do you think, let me ask you
Their
this.
fans are going to be furious.
Like in football, like when I really, when I was younger and I was getting red-shirted, or when I was a younger dude starting, like when I started as a redshirt freshman, all the other returning starters was starters, right? Mm-hmm. I was out there just doing whatever. Like, I didn't have no pressure. Like, it was just like, oh, y'all supposed to do that. I'm young. I can get that off.
You didn't have pressure?
No. I was like,
I did.
do you I feel like it was more pressure when you got to be an upperclassman, because you felt like it was just on you that you had to make plays. Like you couldn't make mistakes. It was just more of a thing where you had to get people together. But as a freshman and there's all the other people around, you're like, bro, I'm cool. Ain't nobody watching me anyway.
Yes, that
Right.
is true, but it's also about proving your worth to everybody else around you. Like,
Right.
I deserve to be out here. I make plays too. So me being at Ohio State, when I became the starting nickel, you know, you're looking at I'm with Shazier and Joey Bosa and all these guys, and it's like, well, if they doing that good and I need to do something, I gotta contribute in some way. That's just the way Urban messed my mind up, by the way. But that was
Not
the way.
surprised.
That was the way that he made me feel like I have to be as good as those guys as well. To when I was a senior or my last year there, like it was like the back of my hand. Like I knew whatever. Like we've been in the system, I knew everything. So it was like I played.
Right, but when
with
you're a
tremendous
young
confidence.
player, there's more of an expectation that, like, you're going to make a mistake sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, you get
right,
that.
you know.
Yeah.
So these young boys,
Yeah.
I bring it back to baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, all these dudes that have been in the minors, they ain't been up, they've been down. The only person that you expect anything from really
It's Jose.
is Jose and
And
or
Quan.
Quan. That's it. If anybody else,
Yes.
the rest of them should be going up there. Remember when Gonzalez was on the squad a couple years ago and he had that great postseason?
Yep.
He was playing above his head because he just didn't know he wasn't supposed to be doing that. It's a lot of these dudes that's gonna play. It's like, oh, this is what the playoffs is. This is nothing.
Rocchio did it last year.
Yeah, like they don't understand. Like, yeah, this is a little more. You like, this is my first year.
You look at
Chase DeLauder.
yeah, well, Chase, did we mention that yet?
No.
No, real quick, give us 2 minutes
Oh,
on
yeah,
the louder.
bad job out of us. So Chase DeLauder is going to be on this 26-man roster.
Let's go.
This is an
Let's
amazing
go.
story.
That's what I'm talking
This
about.
is a wild story here.
About time.
The guy
Yes,
is going to
sir.
make his, I assume, I don't know, we don't know for a fact he's going to actually play,
Pinch hitting,
but
sir.
if he
something.
plays, he's going to make his major league debut in the playoffs.
I'm gonna tell him to go
I
up
mean,
there.
that is very rare.
Go up there swinging hard.
That's house money right there.
I'm telling you right now.
Swing for the fences.
I'm telling you right now, guys. Tomorrow, when they face Flaherty, who's a righty, I would have him in the starting lineup.
I got all the young boys.
I want Manzardo, Kafis, and DeLauder all in. I mean, Manzardo will be, and Kafis will be.
How did these-
I put DeLauder out there too.
How did these baseball dudes get this off? I can't see none of my young dudes and nothing else. They be like, nope, he ain't ready.
That's
but
like-
y'all, shout out to DeLauder.
Yeah.
Get up there and swing
Let's
as
go.
hard as you
That's
can swing.
like-
How excited is he right now?
This
my God.
is equivalent to like if last year in the playoffs they said, "Yo, Amani Bates, you in there with
That's
Donovan at
the
start."
equivalent of it.
You'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like, "What? Like, let's go."
We got injuries. You're starting to. You're
We're
starting
going
now.
against Indiana. We down right now. We need
Let's
you.
go.
You start. Let's go.
DG's foot hurt. Amani, you gonna play point guard. What?
Yeah.
We're going to talk more Guardians later in the show. Before we wrap this up,
Yeah.
winner or loser tonight? Guardians, yes or no, Bull? Winner?
You know, I originally picked the Guardians in 3. Did I? No, Guardians in 2. They're going to sweep the series. Tigers are a mess. They'll completely fall apart after. The Guardians will win a tight one today. They blow them out tomorrow. Let's go.
Hey, Guardians manufacture enough runs. They score early. They get this win. I'm picking the Guardians to win this game. I ain't even going to trip. Tyvis, you ain't got to ask you, right?
I want the Guardians to win, but due to the fact that y'all picked that, I'm going with the Tigers. So
all right, good job.
All right,
by the way, I'm picking the Yankees, the Padres, and the Dodgers in the other 3 series. Not really going out on a limb there, although the Padres, the Cubs are the favorites in that series. And actually, the Tigers are favorites, so I'm picking 2 underdogs. One other thing that has nothing to do with baseball that I really want to mention real quick, because this bothered me. I didn't see this until this morning. Real quick. Did any of you guys see what happened at the Ryder Cup this past week?
Yeah,
fans got crazy.
I don't pay any attention to golf. You guys,
you talking about how they was down and then they came back?
Well, I don't even care about the European team won.
Yes,
but the event took place in Long Island, and I saw some highlights and some comments from some of the players. The behavior by our fellow Americans in that event was beyond disgraceful. And those of you, like Long Island is a crap hole anyway, for the most part. Those of you, and I don't know if it's all people from Long Island, and I'm sure 80% of the fans, 90% were probably great and well behaved. And it's the few loudmouths that, make everybody look bad. But the people that were behaving that way, you people are a disgrace. You're a traitor to the country because you make us look disgraceful. You're an embarrassment to be an American. Those fans are disgusting. Throwing things at the wives of the European players, cursing them out. There's Rory McIlroy's wife. Somebody threw a bottle at her.
What?
I mean, what?
Oh, it ain't even about the golf event.
No, it had nothing about the golf. I mean,
no, I'm talking about if I was Rory.
Oh my God! Well, he started giving
somebody
F-bombs
threw
to some of the fans,
threw that to at Laurencia Powell. It ain't even about whatever
I mean, are
we
you
doing.
crazy?
It's on.
What is wrong with people? It was just despicable behavior by the segment of that fan base. They should all be ashamed, and they should be banned from every sporting event in America going forward. Let's not. We're ugly Americans too often these days. Let's try to turn that around and stop being ugly Americans, because this was ugly American in full force, and it was disgusting, and it was shameful by some of our fellow countrymen. Thank you, Mike.
This PSA was brought to you by Adam the Bull. All right, guys, we're going to pivot to the Browns. We'll get back, talk a little more Guardians in a sec. We have a new sponsor on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. You know the saying, look good, feel good? Well, the problem is that most dress clothes only check one of those boxes. They look sharp, but feel stiff, hot, and high maintenance. That's why there's Mizzen and Main. Mizzen and Main makes comfortable, classic menswear with performance fabric, so it's effortless to look sharp and feel comfortable at the same time. They actually invented the performance fabric shirts over 10 years ago, and they've perfected it ever since. Right now, Mizzen & Main is offering UCSS listeners 20% off their first purchase at mizzenandmain.com if you use the promo code LOCKEDONNFL20. That's Mizzen, M-I-Z-Z-E-N, and Main, M-A-I-N.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 20% off. And if you'd rather shop in person, you can find some Mizzen & Main stores in select states. All right, guys, I don't know if you happen to hear Kevin Stefanski's press conference yesterday, but on Sunday following the loss to Detroit, he was non-committal to sticking with Joe Flacco as his quarterback long-term, but in the past, he's always been non-committal after a game.
Yeah.
Last week, when asked if he considered a quarterback change, he said, no, Joe Flacco's my guy. Last season,
even though we know Stefanski usually doesn't give any straight answers.
Right.
Last season, when Deshaun was struggling early, anytime the question is asked, are you thinking about making a quarterback change, he shut down any rumor right away. Deshaun's our quarterback. That's what we're going. Except yesterday, he was asked the very first question of his press conference about potentially making a quarterback change, and we're going to hear from Kevin Stefanski. Question, answer, follow-up, and answer to see if you think this answer is a little funky.
The person who asked the question from I think he's from the Illyria Telegram. All right, let's hit it.
Hey, Kevin, just following up on yesterday. Are you sticking with Joe?
Yeah, I understand the question, Scott. We have to play better as an offense. We have to coach better on offense. It's not about one person. There are so many things that we need to do better, and obviously quarterback included, but this is not about one person.
Is that a yes then? I mean, are you sticking with him?
Yeah, my focus is on making sure this offense plays better.
Okay.
First of all, good job by Scott. As Kevin Stefanski didn't answer the question, I was like, Scott better follow up, and if he doesn't, somebody else better follow up, or I'm going to get pissed. So good, kudos to Scott for following up, even though he's a little. You can tell he was a little uncomfortable because he kind of giggled as he said it. But good job following up. To me, that's very telling. What do you guys think?
Well, first of all, never listen to what Kevin Stefanski is saying. They allegedly loved Kenny Pickett so much that he was the guy, and then they traded him for a 5th-round pick. They do this all the time in the ivory tower. They don't give you nothing straight.
But what are you reading between the lines with that? Nothing? Something, as I am.
I think that he's softening the blow.
Yeah.
He's not committal for Flacco. However, he's gauging. I think what they're doing right now is behind the scenes they're gauging, okay, what is the damage on this thing? Can we afford to roll him out one more week? If they play him in London and he plays well, here's the calculus. He plays decent in London, it buys us more time. Mm-hmm. They thought that win against Green Bay was going to buy him a little more time. But Joe came out here and looked like Joe. And then, believe it or not, those guys in the locker room, like people is trying to spin this a different way. Guys in the locker room talk about, oh, if we go to the rookies, it signals that we waving the white flag. No. To them in the locker room, you keep rolling Joe out there, that's waving the white flag. How many meetings did you see on the sideline with Myles Garrett in the defense? They're like, bro, get this man up out of here. We all see it. Stop playing with us. So they in the behind the scenes trying to delay as long as possible before going to Dylan Gabriel. And I think what you're seeing is starting to see some cracking on the veneer because there's some people in that front office that said it's time for us to get to the next guy.
But you think he's going to stick with Flacco?
For this week, yeah.
Okay. Tyvis, what did you read into that?
I think that he also is going to stick with Flacco for this week. He shouldn't. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
I looked at the stats. I didn't know Joe didn't throw a touchdown in 2 weeks, huh?
Nope.
No.
So it's no different than putting the young guy in there. Like, listen, this is my thing. I believe, as crazy as this going to sound, I believe where we are right now with the offensive tackle position, I think Dylan Gabriel is actually the best answer for it right now. Why do I say that? Because Dylan Gabriel, from the time he was at Oregon, he's taught to get rid of the ball. He has a clock in his head. He knows he ain't going to hold the ball that long because he's short. And that's always been the thing that he overcomes. So he gets the ball out pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And I think when you think about where our tackle situation is, that's what you need to do. You need to get this offense to where the ball comes out quickly. We're running a West Coast offense. If you do your history on the West Coast offense, Bill Walsh started it when he was with San Francisco back when they had Joe Montana and Steve Young and those back in the day. That offense was built to get the ball out really quick, so guys can't get the pass rush on you. Same thing with Kevin. He wants to get the ball out pretty quickly. So the best person on this roster that's built to do that is Dylan Gabriel. And I just think that with Joe Flacco in there, I just think it's just not getting done. Like the ball's not getting spread around. And it's not all on him. Some of the receivers is dropping the ball as well.
There's all kinds of problems.
A lot of frustration after the game when I listened to post-game sound when I did the post-game show, just listening to those guys in the locker room. They are all frustrated because offensively, they see what the defense is doing, and they said them boys is balling out, and they not holding up their end of the bargain. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they play against the Vikings because to me, it's a must-win game. This whole they're at the crossroads of the season, in my personal opinion, to where you win this game and you start looking around the division. You 2-3. You play the Steelers next week, who's going to be in first place. You see the Ravens, Lamar got a hamstring. Joe Burrow is out for the season.
Idiots.
Exactly. So it's there for the taking. Like you actually got a chance to do something in this
well, not with this offense.
Right.
Yeah.
If that's the one thing that in special teams, that's a shame. Y'all should at worst be scratched. Like we shouldn't even notice the special teams. That's where we should be at. If you're not gonna do something good, at least don't be noticeable. And y'all didn't gave up field goal blocks and gave up punt returns. It's sad. It really is. So to me, I would make the change to Dylan Gabriel. I don't think they're gonna make the change to Dylan Gabriel, but I do think that if he doesn't do well this week, Joe don't do well this week, they have no choice because technically the season's over.
The Browns.
Well, before you go, can I ask Tyvis a question? Because I know.
No, you can't.
I know where you're thinking on this. Why would he answer it so cryptically then? Why not just say Joe's still our guy?
I don't know.
You're a player. Take us in the locker room.
Yeah.
To protect
I've got a few different things out of this. Number one, I believe there's a decent chance Dylan Gabriel's going to play this week.
I agree.
Because Kevin Stefanski, even though he says nothing, every other week he said Joe's going to still be the starter.
He did.
I spoke to Zach Jackson this morning. I said, Zach, why do you think he answered it that way? Zach said he thinks that Kevin's not sure, was as of whenever this was yesterday afternoon, Mike, right?
Yes, it was yesterday's press conference, correct.
So yesterday afternoon when Kevin Stefanski spoke, Zach believes he wasn't sure who the starting quarterback was going to be, that he hadn't decided yet, and that's why he answered that way. So, yes, it's possible he's going to stick with Joe. And we don't know for sure Zach is right, but I think we all agree Zach has a pretty good finger on the pulse of this team, more than most people.
If he starts Dylan Gabriel,
yeah,
then he feel everything that I just said about Dylan Gabriel in the offense.
Yeah.
That means
now, I don't think the offense.
That Tyvis Powell actually is pretty good at analyzing.
Yeah. Now, personally, I don't think the offense is going to be any better with Dylan Gabriel.
Why is that?
Yeah, why you think that?
I don't think he's any good.
You don't think Dylan's good?
Well, no, and he's a rookie. I just don't think he's going to play well, and I don't think the team around him is good.
Here's what I don't understand. I don't think his play caller is good. I think his play, I
think that's fair too.
I think his playbook is trash.
I think the play caller I have issues
completely
with.
Trash.
I don't think the quarterback's very good. I don't think the wide receiver's very good. I think it's a lot. But here's one other thing, a little sidebar of this, is that for all the people that like to argue, you need this, you need that, and I'm always like, you need the quarterback. Like, yes, obviously you can't just have a quarterback, but let me ask you a question, guys. And I know this is silly and it's depressing to think about, but if Josh Allen's the quarterback on this team, nothing else changes. You have the exact same roster, but Josh Allen's the quarterback. What's the Browns' record right now?
At least 2-2.
At least 2-2.
3-1.
I think they're at worst 3-1, and they're probably 4-0.
It all depends on if he's coaching Josh Allen to throw the ball, to dump the ball to running backs because he don't like turnovers.
You know,
at least 2-2.
Let me go.
Josh Allen, the coach of the Bills. What's his name?
McDermott.
Is McDermott that good a coach? I don't think he's that good.
Well, he's a defensive guy.
All I say is this:
they will win. Josh Allen looked great with Ken Dorsey as the offensive coordinator. I don't think it matters if you have a quarterback this good. In my opinion,
you know why
it doesn't matter. Zach Taylor's a terrible coach. Joe Burrow still plays great.
Here's what I look at. Here's what I look at. I look at the situation.
He needs to be fired.
When Deshaun Watson was not playing well, what did we say? It was the offensive line.
Yep.
Right? We some people said it was offensive line. Some people said he was just cooked, right?
Yep.
He's playing bad, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing that has changed in this offense from Deshaun Watson to Joe Flacco. Is that correct?
What do you mean?
It looks the same. It's still nasty.
Do we really run a lot of shotgun?
When Joe and watch this,
because if we are, then that's half the battle. Right
watch
there.
this.
I'm sorry to tell you that.
So even when we talk about this is crazy. Now people don't never bring this up. We ain't scored no points. We ain't scored 20 points since December of last year, right?
Was that the?
Yeah,
that was good.
That's right.
Yeah, Jay missed December 2nd against the Broncos last year. Was the last time the Browns scored 20 points.
So when Jameis Winston was throwing for all them 300-yard games,
Ken Dorsey was the play caller.
Thank you. You ain't had a quarterback throw for 300, no time close. Because and Ken Dorsey is trash. Ken Dorsey is terrible. It was Ken. But guess what? Where are your 300-yard passers, Kevin? It's the same roster.
Where is Ken Dorsey?
I'm not giving him a pass.
He's in Dallas.
I'm not giving him a pass.
Oh, they putting up numbers too.
He's not the only problem. We can't put it all on Kevin.
Kevin Stefanski.
So no.
Yes.
Are you saying he's 100% to blame?
Hold on, wait. Ken Dorsey's the OC in Dallas?
Yes.
He is?
You know they the number one offense in NFL right now? They rank number one?
Well, they weren't playing well before this week.
They remember how we had the conversation about having the number one defense in the 32nd ranked offense?
Yeah.
They got it flipped. They got the number one offense in the 32nd ranked defense.
So let me get this straight.
Basing that on yards.
Let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's technically the passing game coordinator, not the OC.
Let me get
I'm about
this right.
to say, like, that's crazy.
Let me get this correct.
That would have been an indictment on Kevin.
So, this masterful offense, we watch how this thing works. The masterful offense that he's been putting together, you take Bill Callahan away with the running game. What has he done since Bill Callahan?
Nothing.
Zip zero.
But nobody here is arguing that Kevin Stefanski's doing a good job.
But here's the point. The point is, we sitting here questioning what the quarterback need to do. It's the offensive line. We ain't got no receivers.
Who is we?
Bro, listen.
Well, the receivers ain't catching the ball.
Here's what I think the quarterback is the problem.
No, listen, what I'm saying to you is this coach has not done anything with an offense, no matter which quarterback it has been.
That's
for who?
Jacoby Brissett was solid.
Jacoby Brissett in that
probably
offense,
the best one they had, too.
Sauce at
probably
best.
the best one they had.
It doesn't even matter. Gee, I'm not arguing with you. The offense has sucked, but and Kevin Stefanski clearly deserves blame.
We're giving him credit. We're giving him credit.
I'm not giving him any credit.
Wait a minute.
I don't care about his coaching.
That's not fair because Joe Flacco did have 300 back-to-back
with Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, with Kevin.
Let me tell you something, bro. When you look at what Kevin Stefanski was doing back then, right? Joe Flacco came in and did his thing. Mm-hmm. When they got that tape together and figured it out, and when dudes on the other side against the Texans was like, stand right there.
Yeah, I said that on the show. I said that on the post-game show. That his in-game adjustments stink.
But gee, are you trying to say that if they had Josh Allen, they wouldn't be he wouldn't be good?
They'd be 2-2.
No, I'm not going hyperbolic here.
Yeah.
What I'm going to you is when Kevin Stefanski is sitting here saying, yes, we need to be better all overall. We need to be better. We need to be better. How many weeks do I got to hear you say you got to consistently be better? And your first play, your scripted plays is great. Go watch the All-22. They're running regular, basic high school routes.
I don't disagree. But he's not the only problem.
I get it.
Yeah,
but
the quarterback does stink.
But here's the thing. But the quarterback stinks.
And the offensive line does stink.
And who picked those players?
Andrew Berry.
And Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry always say what? It's a collaborative effort.
Yes.
So you pick the players, it wasn't good enough. You coaching them, it's not good enough. Your offense, not good enough. We cannot keep sitting here saying like these players just showed up. They actively chose these garbage players. We told you that, right?
I get it. You're right.
So,
well,
I'm not giving him 0 passes.
To be fair,
yeah.
They are handicapped when it comes to the salary cap.
Tyvis? Who picked him?
That's a great question. Somebody need to tell me.
What is Watson on the cap this year? 50-something million? You know, Amari Cooper is $20 million of the cap this year.
All that finessing the numbers game. This is the results.
They did that. That's what I'm saying. So
Deshaun's in the cap for $36 million this year.
So that's $56 million of the cap on Watson and Cooper.
And let's be clear. Yeah. And let's just be honest. Tell me I'm lying. You don't got an offensive line. You would have had an offensive line if Jed Wills would have still been able to play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you didn't miss on Zach Zinner, right?
Well, he played guard.
DeJuan Jones.
DeJuan Jones. Listen.
DeJuan got hurt.
Okay. I get it.
Hurt.
I get it.
That's true.
Jack Conklin is hurt again.
Yeah.
They paid him when he was hurt.
What you're arguing is if Tyvis and I are arguing.
No. I'm
about to say we behind you.
I don't know why you're presenting us.
I'm just putting it out there for the community.
We agree.
I'm putting it out there for the community.
I have lost faith in Kevin Stefanski.
This is for the first time I've really been on the fence. I've been on the. They might have to move on because
I've lost faith in them. I agree.
This is sad.
But it still doesn't change the fact, even if it's his fault and Andrew Berry's fault, that the offense. But here's the thing. My only point about saying the Josh Allen thing is, look at the Bills' offense, right? Quinshon Judkins is as good, if not better, than James Cook, is he not?
Oh, James Cook's balling out this year.
I was about to say that.
I would say they caliber, talent-wise, I think they caliber. They got
James
the same
Cook's been
caliber.
awesome.
I don't know.
James Cook's great.
James Cook, the defense can't completely focus on James Cook. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the defense against the Browns,
James Cook
the defense right now know that Quinshon Judkins is the only problem in the Browns offense. So Quinshon, trust me, first of all, if you ask 32 NFL teams right now, which running back would you rather have? I bet you almost everyone would say Quinshon Judkins.
Because he's cheaper?
He's a lot younger, yeah.
He's younger, he's cheaper, and he's just as talented, if not more.
I agree with what you're saying about Josh Allen.
The Bills don't have great receivers.
What I'm saying, though, to you is this.
Yeah.
The Bills had to have the foresight and the ability to draft correctly to take Josh Allen.
That's absolutely right.
The Browns, let's not us forget.
Yes.
They could have taken Josh Allen.
Yeah.
They could have taken Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
Other teams took them and they're better. So, yes, you can say if we had this player, that player, the Browns consistently have an opportunity to get those players. If Jackson Dart turns out to be a stud,
Oh my God!
Did the Browns have a chance to get him?
If he turns out
if that happens, that's a huge failure.
So you had the second overall.
You're right. I say if they had Josh Allen, really just to emphasize the point of how important the quarterback is, not to say poor Kevin Stefanski if only he had Josh Allen.
Right. No, I get that.
Now to be fair, this group didn't pass on.
He didn't.
Those guys.
They didn't.
That was Ken Dorsey, who we all liked at the time.
John
Dorsey, not Ken Dorsey. Who took Baker, who's now become a very good player, but
who passed on him?
Still not anywhere close to Josh Allen or Lamar
All
Jackson.
I continue to say is,
I'm just saying.
all the quarterbacks,
from
Baker to Deshaun to Joe, they all started off slinging the ball pretty well. The more they got with Kevin, the more the check down started.
Let me ask you this too, real quick on the quarterbacks here.
That in-game adjustment is terrible for you to get up there and say that you had a plan in practice of what you was going to do and how you was going to handle Aiden Hutchinson and all those things, and you got in the game and it basically shocked you at how good he was doing, and you didn't make a change. It would have been a tight end next to Cornelius Lucas for the rest of the game. The fact that it was nothing, like that's terrible.
Yeah.
And this it's not the first time we've been saying that his in-game adjustments wasn't good. This has been for some years.
I think I've been hesitant. Like, I feel like in the past I would have been – I was very wishy-washy about Kevin Stefanski at the end of last year. I said he should be fired, then I changed my mind. And I think part of it is obviously I respect Jason a lot. He's a friend. I respect Aditi a lot. She's a friend. They both think that Kevin Stefanski's a really good coach. And I thought, when he first started, I thought Kevin Stefanski was a really good coach. And I think part of the reason I haven't been fully committed to saying Stefanski should be gone is because I know they're both very knowledgeable. They both have insight within the organization. And so I'm a little hesitant. But I'm just not seeing.
Trust me.
I'm really just not seeing the genius that is Kevin Stefanski.
Me and Jason sat down and had a long conversation, and he made some very valid points about the whole situation with Kevin and everything else.
Yeah.
So I understand where he's coming from, and I understand why he's saying I wouldn't fire him either because it wouldn't matter, and I get it. But like, I can't also deny the fact that for you to be this play caller, you were supposed to be this great offensive mind, and where are we ranked? Well, I'll tell you we ranked dead last again.
31st in points.
34.
Like that's.
Yeah, it's
like what am I supposed to say?
Yeah. And I mean, it's just
you need to cut that out.
It's just been an absolute disaster. It's hard, and it's also fair to say, though, guys, that I have no faith in Jimmy Haslam if he does fire Stefanski hiring the right coach. No, I got no faith in that. No.
Well, let's talk about changes.
Go ahead.
Potentially mid-season real quick. So we got Mary Kay coming on in about 8 minutes. So I want to just get this in real quick. This next topic is brought to us by Rougit Go Long. What do you get when you combined a bald eagle standing on top of a gorilla riding a T-Rex? Confidence, pure confidence. If you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougit Go Long. That's exactly where Rougit Go Long comes in. It's not just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. The process is simple. Connect with the board-certified doctor 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly right to your door. If prescribed, they put that twice in the read. This read's terrible. Rougit, be better. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Head to Rougit.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 15% off your first order. That's Rougit.com, promo code LOCKEDONNFL. Make sure you use our code so they know we sent you. The Browns might be as bad as that read was, but Tyvis, with the AFC North being as in flux as it is, Pittsburgh leads the division at 3-1. Then you have Cincinnati, who got destroyed at 2-2. Baltimore and Cleveland at 1-3. Still got a couple weeks to the trade deadline. With how good this defense has played, do the Browns need to? I even hesitate to ask this question, but I have to ask it. The division's up for grabs. Do the Browns need to be aggressive and actually try and go for this?
They should. I mean, listen, man, I don't know what the conversation was in the offseason about jobs moving on past this year, but like to me, you only guaranteed the year that you're in. And when you look around, like there is a real possibility that you can win this division with the injury to Joe, with Lamar being out. Like and that defense for Baltimore is not as good as I thought it would be. Like you really can do something.
But you can't win the division with offense like this.
But that's why I'm sure he's suggesting like going to get like a receiver or something like that. But problem is, who would give that up?
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
Well, if I thought there was a realistic path to making them an adequate offense, because if the Browns had an average offense, I'm not even saying great. If they had an average offense, they could win this division.
Let's say that.
But I don't see there's any route to them to get an average offense.
Let's say that they make the switch to Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
And let's say for the next, when the trade deadline, week 8, week 9?
It got pushed back 1 week, so yeah.
Week 9?
Yeah, something like that.
So let's say for the next 2 or 3 weeks, let's say we get to week 8.
Yeah.
And Dylan Gabriel has thrown for 220
He's playing
yards,
solidly.
and he's thrown 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
Would you and it was a receiver, like Chris Olave demanded to be traded, or somebody of that ilk, somebody young but like can be a wide receiver 1. Would you make the trade? Let's say the offense.
What do I got to give up?
2nd round pick.
No, I'm not trading a 2nd round pick for Olave. It hasn't been good enough.
Garrett.
I mean, call my government. First and foremost, you know me, I'm Project Stop.
2nd round pick next year.
What do you mean next year? Like 2027?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm Project Stockpile. So this is what I want out of my play caller. If you telling me I can get somebody like Chris Olave and swap him all the way out with Said Tillman.
Said Tillman's hurt, by the way, not playing the next couple of weeks.
Well, of course, yeah. Like let's go, let's roll, let's cook. Like because
the Browns are going to be starting Jamari Thrash, who would not start for Ohio State.
You're correct.
Yeah.
At all.
That's a fact.
Yeah, at all.
That's a fact.
At all. He might not start for OU. Not playing. Go ahead. He gets some OU love. Get some OU love.
He could probably. When he ain't a slot, you telling me he got to get the job over Cardinal or JJ? It's not happening.
So the thing is, this is the reason why it's a catch-22 with the Cleveland Browns is, you know what I'm saying, people seem like I don't want to seem like, hey, you just being super negative. It's just like, well, no, these things compound themselves. You say you don't have receivers, but you keep drafting the David Bells and Anthony Schwartz. When you miss on those guys and they're in the street working at, working at Target,
yeah,
that's a void. Now you guys that you should have been in your system developing ain't there. So yeah, if you had a Chris Olave, by the way, that means there's a player that's already been developed by somebody else that has shown you something by somebody else. But he's kind of like Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
But that's just what they do. Amari Cooper's your best receiver.
Yeah, I just don't think Chris Olave makes this. The offense has to improve drastically for them to really be competitive.
Well,
they're a 3-win team as currently constituted with this offense. To me, 3-4 win team.
That's fair. And if
I want to know what happened to the Bang 8. Why can't we
Maybe
get a
Mary
Bang?
Kay will have the answer.
Please
Let's get to her
give me
now
the
after this
Bang
read
8.
from Mike.
Yeah, we got Mary Kay in the queue, so let's bring in our Hall of Fame writer. After a reminder that FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook, and right now they have an incredible deal for brand new customers. If you're a new FanDuel customer and you bet just $5, and that first $5 bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome Mary Kay Cabot to the show. How you doing today, Mary Kay?
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
Good, Mary Kay. When are you leaving for England? I know Zach told me he was leaving tonight. Are you going tonight also, or not till tomorrow?
Yes, I'm on the same flight as Zach tonight. We are flying out of Pittsburgh, and we're doing that so we can be on a direct flight. So we needed to get there because we have to be at practice on Thursday, and so even though the Browns are still going to be here tomorrow, they can take off right after practice and get there in a little bit more of a timely fashion. So we are leaving tonight.
By the way, how ridiculous is it that you can get a direct flight to England from Pittsburgh, but you can't get it from Cleveland? That is unacceptable.
Well, when they upgrade the airport in the next 2 years.
All right, hopefully. There should be no reason. I know you can fly direct to Ireland, but not to England. Mary Kay, the interaction between when Scott Petrak yesterday asked Kevin Is Joe going to be the quarterback? He was non-committal, obviously. Scott followed up, still gave no straight answer. Zach's opinion, I spoke to Zach earlier today, his opinion was that at the time of that press conference, Kevin Stefanski was not sure who the quarterback was going to be. Do you believe that as well? And who do you think is going to be the quarterback this week?
Yeah, he might not have known during that press conference. And I asked him after the game, of course. It seems like every week I ask him in the post-game press conference, are you sticking with Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
And he was non-committal after the game, too, which in previous weeks, he's gone right to Joe's our quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of up in the air right now. I think they're turning it over to Dillon Gabriel, but I'm not sure. I'm really not 100% sure. Some of it can be gamesmanship because this is an important football game to win. I know that might sound crazy because the Browns are 1-3, but so are the Ravens. And I see you guys had a graphic up earlier that the AFC North is a mess. And that is why this game is so vitally important. If you can get to 2-3 and start to be hanging around and keep yourself in the mix a little bit, anything can happen. We know Joe Burrow is out for 3 months. We know that the Baltimore Ravens are a mess right now. And if Pittsburgh doesn't completely run away with this, then there is a world in which the Browns can stay in this or get back in this a little bit if they start to string together some victories. So this is a very, very important game. And I think the Browns are using whatever competitive advantage they can find to try to go out there and win it. And that's why we haven't heard anything yet.
Mary Kay, a lot of people ask me every day. They say, listen, Dillon Gabriel is 24-25. He played the most college games that we've seen in college level. All preseason, we talked about how cerebral he was. The fact that he gets the ball out of his hand quick. The Browns love him. The Browns targeted him specifically in the third round because they love all of his traits, right? They have him as a backup quarterback. That means by default, if something happens, he's the next guy up. Why the reluctance? Even if you're going to London, hey, get him ready. Tell him, hey, look, take a nap on the plane. Like, what is the reluctance level of putting a guy with that much experience that you like in the football game when Joe's playing this bad?
I don't know what the reluctance would be, and maybe they're not reluctant. I would go ahead and do it. I wrote a whole column yesterday explaining why I think they need to make this change to Dillon Gabriel, and there's a lot of points in there that I made and some numbers too. But one of the biggest things I think that you should do it because of is the fact that Dillon Gabriel can run a different kind of an offense than Joe can. I think it will be faster, zippier. I think you're going to get the ball out quicker into the hands of your playmakers. I think you can run some RPOs. I think you can run some designed runs. He's very mobile. He was very much like in the mold of sort of like a Kenny Pickett. And those two guys were supposed to be the ones that were targeted to start this season. First Kenny and then Gabriel later. So that's what they were going for. More of a game management guy, not somebody who's necessarily going to hit the big explosive plays, but manage the game well, get the ball into the hands of your playmakers, run the ball with Quinshon, which now we know they can do that, and then play good defense. So I would not hesitate to try Dillon Gabriel and see what you have. He started 64 games in college. The moment is not going to be too big for him. He has so much muscle memory for playing this game. He's seen everything. I think he can handle most situations. He's played at a very, very high level. I would not hesitate to do it.
Oh, Mary Kay, first of all, I want to say thank you for asking the question about if he switches off of Joe Flacco, would Shador be the backup or Joe be the backup? I thought it was an excellent question. He sidestepped that one perfectly, but it was a great question by you.
He's a classic.
I want to ask you about the tackle position because last week they signed Thurl Munford, go Bucks, off the practice squad of the Patriots, but he was inactive because obviously he wanted to get up to speed. They just traded for Cam Robinson and Jack Conklin is another guy that I think may possibly come back. Do you know his availability? Because honestly, if Jack Conklin is ready to go, and they do, I think they would start Dillon Gabriel because now he becomes the blind spot of Dillon Gabriel, and he's the most experienced tackle that they got. So what is the status of Jack Conklin?
Well, I don't really know yet. But I know he's progressing and he's getting closer week by week. So maybe he'll be ready to play against the Vikings, but he might not be. And if he's not, then I think you will be looking at Cam Robinson on the left and Cornelius Lucas, or maybe even KT Levinston, or some combination of those guys. So they have to hope that Jack comes back. I think that will really, really help them. But even so, I still think, people say, well, how are you going to want to put a rookie quarterback in there when you have tackle issues? How are you not going to want to go to the rookie quarterback when you have tackle issues and a 40-year-old quarterback that can't really move? At least Dylan can slip and slide away from some trouble. So I think it actually makes more sense to play him, not only against the Vikings, but against the Steelers, who are going to pin their ears back and come after Joe Flacco. So I think it makes total sense to go with Dylan for so many reasons. And hey, if it doesn't work out, then you can come up with another plan. But you have to see if the quarterback change is going to be something that can shake up your offense and get some of these receivers.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If you haven't seen Mary Kay's article, I read it this morning. Check it out, of course, as you see on cleveland.com there on the bottom of the screen. Mary Kay, obviously, the Lions scored a lot of points, but I think it was similar to the Ravens game where most of that was the fault of either the offense or the special teams. Certainly wasn't the defense's best game, but I think the defense still played well enough to win. Nobody had a great game for Detroit, except, Jahmyr Gibbs had a pretty solid game, but outside of that, nobody else really did that much. What did you think?
No, not at all. Not at all. You still have a championship caliber defense, and that's why if they could get some decent offense going, then they could be onto something here a little bit and try to win some football games. You just have to not be giving the game away, and that's what they did again, just like they did against the Ravens. 24 of the Lions' 34 points came off of the turnovers and the punt return for the touchdown. Other than that, the defense did its job for the most part. Yes, they gave up too many yards to Gibbs, and no, they didn't have a sack. But for the most part, you can't ask much more from what you're getting from this defense. It's the other two units that are failing for this football team right now. And, you can't blame the defense if they're starting to get a little bit frustrated. They are trying to hide it if they are. But they need some offense to go with this, and they 100% threw that game away in Detroit.
Yep.
Let me ask you about the special teams unit, because that's another one of those units that's not doing well, and I'm trying to figure out, how did we get to this point? You talk about legend. We had Josh Cribbs back in the day. He talked about Travis Benjamin the other day.
Yeah, it is.
Like, why is it that we can't get a dynamic returner, and how, at worst, can they not just do the basic things, like don't give up a punt return or stuff like that, or hit the kicks and things like that? Why is our special teams unit down like this?
Well, it seemed as though they had turned the corner against Green Bay when they got the blocked field goal and hit the 55-yard field goal. It was like, oh, special teams actually just contributed in a huge way to this victory. But then they reverted again in this past game. I don't really blame Schmidt too much for missing a 56-yarder, although he does have the leg to make a 56-yarder. So you do want him to be able to make those. But certainly the punt return for the touchdown was ridiculous. And, Grant Delpit took a lot of blame for that and said he kind of play. So kudos to him for standing up and owning that. I thought that was a pretty professional thing for him to do. But they've got to stop making these special teams gaffes. It's really mind-blowing. Bubba Ventrone is a really, really good special teams coach. He came here with an impeccable reputation and had coached and presided over some of the best special teams in the NFL in his previous 5 years. So the fact that they keep making mistakes like this is really, really shocking. And that's one thing that there's no excuse for it. They've got to get that cleaned up. If they can get that cleaned up and once again stop giving the ball away, then they can win games.
Mary Kay, I'm gonna keep a buck with you. I gotta keep it real. When these rookies get in here, I don't want to see people say this because there are some. Joe's been playing bad, but these drops is looking crazy. Jerry Jeudy, I don't know what's going on with him. I've never seen him this demonstrative on the sideline. He's missing the balls. He's hitting his helmet. Harold Fannin, I like
love Harold Fannin. Love Harold drops. Yeah.
Balls is hitting him in the hands, not really getting you. Cedric Tillman is out. And I want to be clear because what's going to happen is When the rookies get in there and they throw the ball and they drop them, people going to lose their mind because they're rookies and they're like, you got to help the rookies out. But what's going on with the drops? I mean, is this something that's alarming as it is to me?
I actually think it's a combination of a lot of things. When we asked Bill Musgrave, the quarterback's coach, about those 2 interceptions in week 1, he said those balls could have been thrown a little bit better. And when we talked to Kevin Stefanski again on Monday, he talked about there needs to be precision. So I think there must be something going wrong with the precision of the passing game. And I don't know exactly what it is, but certainly the connection between Jerry Jeudy and Joe Flacco, that's not there. Sometimes the ball is hitting him right in the hands, and he should be catching that. So he has to work on his side of it. And Joe did some things that were absolutely not good. There were some passes that were a little bit off target, off the mark. The other thing is it's not always getting out on time because he's under so much pressure. And this is where I think that a rookie quarterback or a quarterback like Dylan, who does have some mobility, I think it might help. I envision a shorter, snappier, quicker release, just a faster, zippier game. I envision him moving around, using his legs, them running some RPOs and trying some things like that. It seems like sort of a slower process to get the ball where it needs to go right now. And then also, they're not taking as many big shots downfield because they did not want Joe throwing a bunch of interceptions. Well, he's throwing them anyways. And they're not all his fault. We know that. They're not all his fault. Jerry Jeudy's on the ground. Cedric Tillman, did he run the wrong route? Did Joe throw the wrong route? It's really hard to say. But I do think that if you get the offense moving the way that you want to and the way that it was intended to, with more quarterback movement and maybe shorter passes and getting the ball into the hands of your receivers on higher percentage passing plays and then letting them run after the catch, then I think you're just going to see a whole different philosophy. And, let's see if it works. That's what I'm interested to see.
Mary Kay, great stuff as always. Have a great trip to England, and we'll talk to you next week. Hopefully following a win. We'll see. Thank you.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys Tuesday. Take care.
Excellent as always. Mary Kay Cabot. We switch from Mary Kay to the quarterback, Sean King, in just a moment. But first, Mike's got to read.
Yeah, Sean King's brought to us today by Mizzen and Main. You know the saying, look good, feel good? The problem is that most dress clothes only check one of those boxes. They look sharp but feel stiff. That's where Mizzen and Main comes in. Mizzen and Main makes classic menswear with performance fabric, so it's effortless to look sharp and feel comfortable. They actually invented the performance fabric dress shirt over 10 years ago, and they've perfected it ever since. Right now, Mizzen and Main is offering UCSS listeners 20% off their first purchase at mizzenandmain.com if they use promo code LOCKEDONNFL. That is Mizzen, spelled M-I-Z-Z-E-N, and Main, MAIN.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 20% off. And if you'd rather shop in person, you can find Mizzen and Main stores in select states.
Hey, Sean, how you doing? Good to see you. Is it time? Let's get right to it. We don't not a lot of time for pleasantries, Sean, because the Browns are unpleasant to watch, especially on offense, well, pretty much only on offense and special teams. Is it time, Sean, to make a change of quarterback?
Well, let me say this. I know you guys have a lot of guests. Excuse my voice. But I came on here after week 1, and Jay Crawford stopped running from me. And
He's running.
I told Jay Crawford after week 1 that playing Joe Flacco was a waste of time, that they should go to a alternating rotation of Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And he gave me this passionate dissertation about how the Browns fan base needed hope and they wanted to show up to the games and beat. And after 4 contests, you're 1-3, just like I predicted. So Andrew Berry, I'm not going to say y'all should fire him, but what he should do is call me. For a small retainer, I can fix the Browns, because obviously they don't have any idea what they're doing. Absolutely, it's time for a change of quarterback, because it was time for a change before the season started. This season, even though you're really good on defense, had to be about finding out what you have, not just with Dylan Gabriel, but with Shedeur Sanders. This is a very unique situation. I didn't draft 2 rookie quarterbacks. The Browns did.
That's right.
So you have to decide or figure out or at least have a fair evaluation of both of the young men, because this is going to be a very big off season. Forget the season, forget Joe Burrow's hurt, forget the Ravens are imploding right now. The Browns are not a playoff caliber team.
That's right.
Not defense, team, right? So figure out where you have at quarterback, and the only way to do that is for both of these young men to get an opportunity to go out and play and not go out and be the savior. I'm not saying if Dylan goes out and has a bad game in week 1, you give up on him. I'm not saying if Dylan goes out and plays well, you sign him to an extension. I'm saying you let it play out. And then at the end of the day, you have enough information to make the right evaluation.
All we had to do was keep Jameis, and we wouldn't be in none of this mess.
That's the only time. Hey, listen, that's the only time in Jerry Judy's career he's looked like a number 1 wide receiver.
True.
Was when Jameis Winston was quarterback.
Hey, Sean, I want to ask you about some X's and O's. You know about the West Coast offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if isn't Kevin's offense kind of based around the West Coast offense?
Yes, and for people that don't understand, West Coast to me means efficiency. It's a dink and dunk offense. Mm-hmm. You don't take a whole lot of shots, but you're extremely efficient. You run the football, you throw slants, you throw flat routes, you throw spacing concepts. The problem is the Browns don't have a lot of athleticism at the pass catcher position. Because in that offense, you think when it was rolling, they were throwing to Jerry Rice, John Taylor, who would take those short routes and create yards after the catch and explosive plays. Roger Craig. So, like, sometimes you got to tailor the system to that year's personnel. And I think that's where Stefanski has really struggled. I don't think he's a bad coordinator. I think he struggles tailoring his system to the personnel on that particular year's team.
So the reason I also bring that up is because a lot of the times when you see that, you know, you look at the Rams, you look at San Fran, a lot of the times they operate from under center. But we've doing a lot of shotgunning, and I'm trying to figure out why. If we're supposed to run zone read and then run play action off of that. Bang eights is always supposed to be there, but like you don't really see people running that out of shotgun, and I'm trying to figure out why don't we do that. But 2 years ago with Joe, they did it all the time.
Yeah, that's interesting. I understand the change with Deshaun. I can imagine Deshaun probably was the one that preferred to be in shotgun. Maybe this time he thought Joe was too old. Because when you're under center now, you got to go backwards, then get your momentum and your weight back forward. It gets harder to do that the older you get, trust me. Even getting out of bed becomes a struggle at times. So maybe that's because of Joe's age. And I imagine it will continue because if you look at Dylan and Shedeur in college, they both were in shotgun-centric systems. The Rams have a unicorn. I don't know how much Matthew Stafford you guys will watch, but, I mean, what he's doing this year is unbelievable. He is throwing the leather off the football. Not so much with Mr. Flacco. But the system works best under center because it enhances the play action component, which is how you create explosive plays in the West Coast system. It's much tougher. We diagrammed a lot of that last year. It's much tougher to time up shotgun play action.
Sean, when you look at this offense, what are some things that you would do as a play caller to get a guy like Jerry? It seems like he's having a little issue with a few drops. Jerry Jeudy, how would you get him and Fannin and Njoku and some of those other guys if you do move to one of the rookies? What would be the first thing you do to give me some of them dirty little cheap yards? You know how you get, play callers, they get 4 or 5 plays where it's just little, you ain't even do nothing. It's just dirty yards you get because you scheme something up one way.
Well, first thing I would do is I would play a lot more ace than they have, which means I would have Njoku and Fannin on the field at the same time with 2 wide receivers and then Judkins. And I would move around. I'd throw some now screens early in the game to Jeudy, but have them protected with Njoku or Fannin, a bigger body. I think there's some jet sweep stuff you can get the ball to Jeudy early in the game. Get him going. I really played a mental game with Jerry. Hey, we're going to get you this thing early, dog. Big dog, we're going to get you the rock. Throw him a little 3-step hitch out there. Like, get him involved, get him confident. Like, so many wide receivers, it boils down to their confidence. I mean, look at George Pickens cooking on Sunday night. We've also seen the other George Pickens, right? When he's intercepted. So, like, those guys are guys that you've got to massage their mental space consistently. And I think Judy probably fits in that category. But I'll play a lot more two tight end stuff as my base system.
Sean, I'm curious with Judy. They did it this past week, right? Like, they got him the ball in that first drive. They moved the ball right down the field. That first drive, they looked like a real NFL offense. Flacco was 6 for 6 for 70 yards. Judy had 2 catches, looked good. And then they did nothing the rest of the game. Why is it that they often can look good on that first drive and then completely clueless the rest of the way?
Because bad teams are bad teams. If you look at Monday Night Football last night, you saw the Jets' first drive, and then they fumble at the goal line. And they look inept for the rest of the first half. Like, bad teams are bad teams. And right now, if we're being honest, take your emotion out of it. From a pure talent standpoint on the offensive side of the football, where would you rank the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, it's close.
Dead last. No, 31st behind the Titans.
In terms of talent?
See, like, just pure talent.
Oh, just talent?
Yeah, just talent.
Dead
it's
last.
the bottom couple.
Dead last.
They're bottom third of the league, right?
Yeah.
You got to fix that. You've got to fix that. And that goes back to Andrew Berry. It's your job. Like, people in the organization have to start being held accountable for what their job responsibility states. Andrew Berry's job is to develop and put together an elite roster, not an elite defense, not an elite position group, an elite roster. That's his job responsibility. Kevin Stefanski's job, take the roster that Andrew puts together and get it to perform at its the top of its potential production. That's what they're hired to do, right? Are they doing that? People got to start asking real questions.
I'm going to ask this question. Why the heck is it such a big blind spot at the receiving corps? Like, we're drafting. They took Anthony Schwartz, a gadget guy in a Gus Malzahn offense running reverses for Auburn, over Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got David Bell running a 4.8.
Over Puka Nacua.
Why is it that
everybody passed on those guys?
But I'm just saying, why is it that we can't? Our best receivers that we got to trade for them. Amari Cooper a couple years ago, Jerry Jeudy. Why do you think
Elijah Moore?
Why? That's crazy. The fact that Elijah Moore is your best. Why is there a blind spot with some teams on certain position groups? I could argue that it's the same way with offensive linemen too. But I mean, how can you? If we want to compete with the Chases and the Higgins and all these other weapons, how are we going to do that if we can't hit on playmakers?
I think Green Bay has the right approach. You can find Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, those guys, but they're going to probably cost you a top 10 pick. Look at how Green Bay has collected their group of young pass catchers. Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Matthew Golden, Savion Smith. That's because every year they're drafting a couple talented young wide receivers. And now they have a group of young pass catchers that are really, really talented and look like they got a chance to be really good. So I think you can do it like Green Bay does it, or you can, put a major asset towards it, which, is sometimes tough to do when you have other needs that are high priority. But also, if you're going to trade for these guys, you got to go get box office if you don't have box office. Like, stop the reclamation project thing. Like, I love Jerry Jeudy's talent, but he wasn't balling in Denver. That's why they let him go. I love Elijah Moore's short area quickness, but he wasn't balling when y'all got him. I love Amari Cooper in 2005, but y'all got him in 2021, 22. Like, you got the grandpa version of Amari Cooper. Like, if you're going to go into these free agent streets, man, go and get something that's ready-made to be big time, not something you hoping evolves and changes.
Let me ask
or
you,
hasn't gotten old.
Yeah.
Sean, how connected have you been watching the college game? What's the quarterback that you?
Oh, I'm all on it. I'm all on it.
Oh yeah. Talk. I want to take it over.
That's the guy that Todd McShay talked about.
Dante Moore?
Yeah, Dante Moore. You like him?
Yeah, we ready. Come on.
I like him as a college player.
Who
I don't know that
who's your number one?
Oh, John Mateer from Oklahoma, by far. He's hurt right now, but John Mateer's box office. That's the kid at Oklahoma. Yeah. By the way, the kid at TCU is throwing the leather off the football, too. It's a couple guys that people don't watch because they're not in all the primetime games that are having big-time years.
What do you think of the kid from Arkansas, Taylor Green, 6'6" dude?
He's gotten better. I remember watching him at Boise State, and he kind of was in a timeshare quarterback, and then he got to Arkansas, and, he pretty much was just an athlete playing quarterback. He's gotten better throwing the ball. He's a long, fluid athlete. It's probably going to depend on how he works out. Shout out to Lane Kiffin, too, boy, because Simmons and Shambles, no matter who starts at quarterback, but the Rebs are rolling on offense. Maybe Stefanski should DM Kiffin and ask for some plays.
Before Tyvis go, give me your top 5 disappointing quarterbacks. You be like, come on, what you doing, bro? This is
Arch Manning.
Who's your top 5 disappointing now?
So here's the thing with Arch. People got to be fair to Arch, and I'm a very fair evaluator. I thought the pressure on Arch was completely ridiculous. The expectations for a kid that we didn't have a large sample size was ridiculous. I think I said it on here. Arch Manning is Josh Allen. Go back and look at Josh Allen's Wyoming tape. It looks nothing like Josh Allen from the Bills. Arch is going to be one of those slow-developing kids. It's going to take him a while because he's not a natural thrower of the football. He's more athlete than he is quarterback. But people assume because his 2 uncles were elite throwers of the football that he is as well. He's a different type of quarterback.
By the way, doesn't sometimes
Julian Sam.
Hey, easy.
No,
doesn't it look like Sean's got a white mohawk because of the light on his head?
Slightly.
Right?
Hold on.
Like a bleach white.
You're about to talk about Julian. Easy now.
Hey, I was about to get a whole studio built, and then I went from every week on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show to every other week, so I had to put it off. I could save up $100.
Steve's tightening those purse strings.
Hey, Julian saying he's getting more confident, and you can tell it. And I think what's the wide receiver who's the OC there? What's his name? Hartline is getting more confident in Julian. The key is they got to keep 4. Remember, I told you, I don't care how good these receivers are, you got to massage them mentally. And there were a couple shots in the Washington game, even though Julian played well, where Mr. Smith was running bucket naked down the middle of the field and saying, check the ball down. He completed it, but you got to massage Jeremiah a little bit now. That frustration can't seep in.
Lastly, I want to ask you about Fernando Mendoza, the kid from Indiana. Where you at with him? A lot of hype coming in. A lot of hype for this year's draft.
I don't want to believe in Indiana. The uniforms are ugly. The brand of football stinks.
They're
a basketball school. Like, we don't want Indiana to be good. But, I mean, I think Mendoza's a solid quarterback. I don't think he has any shot to win the Heisman. But, hey, they put a beat down on Illinois. They went and won a tough game on the road at Iowa. I think they played Penn State and Ohio State in the regular season. Do I got that right?
I don't know.
Not sure.
Sean, but we know the truth. The truth is, and our fans here can't take it because they think it's a shot at Ohio State, which it's not. Ohio State is a great program. It's an elite program. It might be they might be the best team in college football. They're probably the best team in college football. But the rest of the Big Ten stinks, and the SEC is way better than the Big Ten. The rest of the Big Ten is trash. We can admit that, right? I mean, isn't that true?
No, I don't think that's true.
Okay, it's not true.
I think Indiana's really good. I think Oregon is really damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, what 3 teams in the SEC in 2025 do you think are better than Ohio State?
I don't know. I can't name one good team. I'm just talking out my ass right here. But all I know is Indiana lost to Ohio State by like 60 last year, and they probably will again this year.
Do we play Indiana this year?
Yeah, I'm not buying stock in Indiana for anything major, but I mean, heck of a job Cignetti's done in a year and a half. Yeah. Coming from James Madison. I mean, he got them looking like a big-time program. I still don't think they can beat the big boys, but he's doing some good things down there. Here's the thing to watch in Indiana. I know before I go, they're really good on the offensive and defensive lines. I miss being on every week. Love you, Steve.
We got to get Steve Becker
He was like,
together.
"I miss you,
Thanks,
brother."
Sean. We'll see you later.
Sean King is the best. Guys, we're going to head out to Progressive Field. We got a playoff game coming in 1 sec. Before we get to Progressive, a quick
35
reminder
minutes,
that you guys have probably heard of Viagra Cialis before. Maybe you tried it, but if you haven't and are looking something that goes beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougit Go Long. It's not just another pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. If you're ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom, head to Rougit.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 15% off your first order. That's Rougit.com, promo code LOCKEDONNFL. Make sure to use our code so they know we sent you. And with that little surprise to the show, we are joined by Jay Crawford at Progressive Field to give us a little scene setter ahead of Game 1 of the Wild Card Series. What's up, Jay?
Hey, guys. Not a whole lot to add, obviously, from the game standpoint, but from the atmosphere standpoint, and this is no surprise, we're having October baseball in September. And I know you would say, well, we've had October baseball the entire month, and it's true, we have. But this game on the calendar falls in September. The mood outside of the stadium, you would know if it was a wild card series, a divisional series, or a World Series game. The scene is exactly what you would expect it to be. As for the game itself, I'll be real quick here. I probably will echo. I didn't hear what you guys had to say about it. I expect it to go exactly the way the Gavin Williams pitched, Tarik Skubal pitched games have gone recently. And that's we'll likely see both starters work into the 6th or 7th inning. It will be a close, low-scoring game. They'll hand it over to the bullpens, and you know what I think about that. I give the bullpen advantage to the Guardians. So if I had to give a score prediction, I'd say 3-2, 2-1 Guardians. Let's win Game 1. They've got 2 to win 1. I like our pitching better than Detroit's. So, but I was just talking to Bobby DiBiasio, and he said something that really made me laugh. We were just talking about expectations. I said, what do you think? He goes, Jay, I've been doing this a very long time. I've learned more this month than ever before. Expect craziness. You can't predict what's going to happen. So let's buckle up, hold on for the ride, and hopefully we'll have a win to talk about. I'll be on 3 News at 4 and 5 after the game with full post-game coverage. Hopefully we'll start the series 1-0. Guys, back to you. Enjoy the game. Go ahead, G.
No, Jay, I wanted to, you said that it's going to be like 3-2, 2-1. Does one of them have to do with Big Christmas hitting the home run?
I haven't factored that in, but you brought that up a couple of weeks ago, and I laughed at it. And he ended up having a say in what the Guardians did down the stretch. So I'll say this. I won't be shocked if it's Christmas in September here at Progressive Field.
I see you on the train. Yes, got him.
By the way, like Jay is in the best shape of almost every nearly 60-year-old we know. But you know he's getting old because he's wearing a turtleneck and long sleeves. It's 75 degrees humid, Jay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in the shade for the entire game. So
that's what old people say.
Yeah, and you're right.
It gets a little brisk.
At 60 years old. Yeah, at 60 years old, it's always chilly out.
Yeah. All right, Jay, have fun at the game.
Thanks, Jay.
Have fun at the game.
Enjoy the game, guys.
It's going to be a great afternoon at Progressive Field.
Facts.
I actually think it's going to end up being a little bit of a higher scoring game than people think. There's been a lot of low scoring games.
So Big Christmas going to come through for you.
He might. I wouldn't bet on it, but you never know.
I feel like you a guy. See, Jay is a dude who, if the Guardians is playing, he want to be in the building.
Yeah.
He has to. Like, I feel like you a home guy. I feel like you
He went to the Cubs and
I feel like
I went at Wrigley.
You don't do.
I mostly these days like to watch at home I do a post game right after, but I like to watch it on TV.
Yeah,
I like my replays.
Yeah.
Was that
I like to go to the bathroom easily.
Yeah.
Was that the last playoff baseball game you went to?
Game 5 at Wrigley Field, Cubs Guardians. Yes.
Dang, I can't tell you the last time I've been to a baseball game.
Was that a baseball game?
Period.
Yeah.
Well,
Like Guardians.
Didn't we go as a team?
No, y'all went. I didn't go.
My mom and
Why
dad.
didn't you go?
My mom and dad be going every week.
I had because that's back when I was working afternoons in Columbus.
Right. You had to dip out.
We should do that again. Obviously next year at this point, but
We should. Bo, you and I spoke on the phone last night, and we had a fun little idea on how to wrap up this because the game starts in 20 minutes. Nothing we say, it's not going to live.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. I guess
I don't know why it's
110
108.
It's 108. It's exactly 30 minutes away.
Yeah, I don't know why it's 108. Where did they come up with the 08?
I'm not sure. But
Anyway.
the question I had, the thought I had,
Yeah.
I thought we'd have some fun. I didn't want to ask you guys to put yourself in Stephen Vogt's shoes and tell us how you pump up the team before a game one situation. So I took this even bigger picture. I wanted to zoom out. What has to happen? What has to go right over the next month and a half for the Guardians not just to win this series, Bull, but to win the World Series?
Sticks.
Okay. Specifically who? Anybody?
No, it is.
You know who, but I'm not gonna say that name.
No, I think they have to ride exactly. That's the encouraging part, is do exactly what they're doing now. They don't have anybody that's gonna, in baseball, even if you get hot. Like, hot is, relative. Like, you can't carry anybody. But if you can still continue to have pitching the way they have, and have timely hitting, and I mean timely in the way where it's like, hey, yeah, we didn't get no hits all day, we didn't knock any guys in, but in the 7th inning we got 2 runs because we had timely hitting and 2 outs. That's the type of stuff that needs to happen. They can't just count on the middle of their lineup just hitting a bunch of home runs. They still need to play it in a way where it's timely, where you depend, and everybody that comes up the bat believes that, hey, we're down, we're not done until the last out. They need timely hitting, and they need to do it in a collective approach. And the cool thing about it is that's how they got here to start with.
So here's what I think. Unfortunately, I don't think you can win without the power anymore. And so, yes, they need to pitch great, which they've done, and I expect that to happen. But if you tell me the Guardians are going to win the World Series, that means they've overachieved, right?
Yes.
The Guardians are, there's a reason why they're tied for the I think only the Reds are a bigger long shot to win the World Series. There's a reason for that. And it's not because the odds makers hate the Guardians. It's because you look at their roster and it doesn't stack up with some of the other teams. So they've got to be able to do something that is not expected for them to win the World Series. I expect them to pitch, the starters to pitch well. I expect the bullpen to pitch well. I expect them to be able to get singles and string together some runs from time to time. But the reality is, guys, that in the playoffs, when you're facing the best teams, there's no White Sox, there's no Twins, there's no, Rockies, there's no bad teams you're facing. The worst team you're going to face is probably the Tigers aren't a bad team. They're just not playing well. So when you play the Tigers and you play the Mariners, and then, if you keep going, you play the Yankees or the Blue Jays or the Red Sox, and then potentially the Dodgers or the Phillies, you're going to have to hit home runs. And you're going to have to hit way more home runs than you are expecting from this team. That's a lot to ask because it's not a good power hitting team. But when they won last year against the Tigers, they hit home runs. Well, in that series, they hit a bunch of home runs. You can't
timely hitting be hitting home runs from people that don't usually hit them?
Sure, that's true, yes. But what I'm saying is, like, the way they won that game against the Tigers in Skubal, where the ball never
no.
You can't consistently win that type of way.
No.
I know that's an extreme, but remember, teams are going to be ultra aggressive with their bullpens. And so, like, let's say they get past the Tigers. This is a short series. Okay, you're going to play the Mariners. The Mariners have one of the best bullpens in baseball. So, and they got a good rotation. So they're going to be ultra aggressive. They can match the Guardians pitching wise, probably as much as any other team.
And I don't like playing at this stage.
You're going to have to hit home runs to beat the Mariners. Like, you might be able to win 2 games here without hitting many home runs against the Tigers because they are not, they're not a massive home run hitting club, although they can hit more now that Torkelson's legit this year and Green. But you could maybe get away with it. But as you get to the longer series, you can't get away with like just singling the team to death. And I know a lot of people, well, we're not going to be able to do that. Well, yeah, on paper, they're not really the type of team that could do that. But we're only asking them to do it for a few weeks. And if that's the key. If they can hit home runs, and it all starts with Jose.
I was about to
now,
ask
Jose earlier in his career, people are like, Jose stinks in the playoffs. Well, he didn't stink in the playoffs early in his career. He was fine to good at times early in his career. But the last few years, the last bunch of times they've been in the playoffs, he's been really bad. They cannot win if he's bad. They cannot win a World Series if he's bad. It's just not going to happen. Because if they're going to surprise us with more home runs than we expect, it's got to be led by him. Because he's the one guy we know can hit home runs against anybody. I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but somebody that is involved with the show said he thinks that Jose Ramirez gets tight in the playoffs. I don't believe that for a minute. I think that's an excuse that we rationalize because he hasn't been good in recent years. There is nothing about Jose Ramirez's game, the way he plays, that ever shows he's uptight. I don't believe that for a minute. Even in the playoffs, he goofs around with guys on the other team. He's not uptight. Sometimes baseball is bad luck, right? Sometimes you hit the ball on the button and it goes right to a fielder. Sometimes you hit one, you barely hit it, and it drops into an unknown spot. This is not the NBA where a great player like LeBron James is almost never going to play a bad game. The greatest players in the history of baseball play bad games in the playoffs. There's no exceptions to that. There's not a single great player that you can name that hasn't had a bad game in the playoffs. Multiple bad games for most of them. Series for great players, Hall of Famers, where they bat 100. That would never happen with LeBron. That's just the nature of the sport.
There is some players that didn't play well. That's always played well in the postseason.
What do you mean?
In basketball.
That always played badly in the
That always played well.
Yeah.
They never had a bad game in the postseason. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I didn't say that doesn't. I'm saying it happens in basketball. It doesn't happen in baseball.
Yeah, well, it don't happen with my guys, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's
Finish
what I'm
your
saying.
thought.
So Jose's got to lead the way. He's going to have to play great in this postseason. And then guys like Rocchio, Bo Naylor, C.J. Kafis, Chase DeLauder, Gabriel Arias. These guys, John Kenzie Noel.
Man,
don't get me
They're
smiling
going to have
over here.
to hit some home runs in clutch spots. That's how you get to. That's how they're going to win the World Series.
How did you forget? How did you forget the most important guy out of that?
Yeah,
he's in your big three.
Yeah, well, I didn't count him because
No, Manzardo.
Right, no. I'm expecting Manzardo to be fine and hit a couple of home runs.
Not fine. That's another
That's
way.
true.
Ain't no fine.
He 27 home runs.
If he can get you, if you got a 2 right now, Tyvis. He plays so well that you move him into the big 3.
Yeah,
you're
you're
three
right.
sticks.
He has to have a big series too. They need him too. He's by far their second best power hitter. That's the most home runs by a Guardians player not named Jose or Josh Naylor since
Michael Brantley?
No.
I
said it.
No, it's
I said it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's my boy. What's my boy with the power?
He had one good year.
What is his Franmil Reyes?
Most home runs by a Guardian not named Josh Naylor or
I
Ramirez.
got a tweet bowl, and it asked me if I could do something on the show, and we have time, so let's do it real quick. And Tyvis, feel free to chime in, and we could all, but I'm not going to pretend the Tigers lineup as much as
Yeah.
Remember when we used to draft the 10 best players before a Browns game on Fridays?
Yeah.
This person asked, who are the 10 best players in the series? Guardians versus Tigers. And how would that draft go?
How would that draft go? Like if we were starting a team?
No, like for right now.
There's 5 best
for
players.
this series.
Is it Skubal or Jose as your first pick?
Skubal would go 1.
Then
Jose would go 2. Gavin Williams would go 3.
Stephen Kwan.
Riley Green's probably 4.
I'm thinking Cade Smith maybe 4.
Oh,
I'm just trying to think about it. So guys I would consider for 4. Cade Smith.
Riley
Green.
Stephen
Kwan.
Manzardo.
Not for 4.
Is Glaber up there?
No.
Kerry Carpenter. Spencer Torkelson.
Not for 4. No.
Them 6-piece nuggets.
I would take Cade Smith 4. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I would take Cade Smith 4. 5, I would go Riley Green. 6, I'd go Kwan. 7. All right, now I'd probably go Kerry Carpenter 7. 8 could be, all right, candidates for 8. Oh, no, 8 is Bybee. 9, we got candidates are Manzardo. Maybe Kyle Finnegan, their closer. I don't love him. Maybe Will Vest for them. Maybe Torkelson. Who else am I forgetting on the Tigers? Maybe Gleiber. I would probably go, and then you got the rest of the Guardian starters. I don't like the rest of the Tigers starters. I would say Kyle Finnegan, the Tigers closer, I'll put 9. I'll take Torkelson 10. And then I'll put Kyle Manzardo 11. And I'll Gleiber Torres of the Tigers 12. That's my top 12. Off the top of my head, maybe I forgot. Maybe Will Vest, the Tigers relief pitcher, is good. I don't know.
You forgot about John Kinsley.
What was the split? Real quick, because you did 12. Was that 7-5? If my math is correct.
Was it? What's that?
7-5.
7-5 Guardians. Well, I had Gavin, Bybee, Cade Smith, Jose, Manzardo, and Quan.
It's 6 and 6.
Oh, 6-6.
Yeah, but I think I had more Guardians in the top 5.
So he definitely had more Guardians in the top 5.
But 6-6, right? Because I had on the other side, I had Skubal, Gleiber, Riley Green, Torkelson, Carpenter, and Finnegan.
If this was switched around and the Guardians played on the road, how do you think that would change? Would you pick would you pick the Tigers if they played these?
The Guardians played really well in Detroit. They went 6-1 in Detroit this year. So I don't know that just the way both teams are playing, I think they're pretty evenly matched. The Guardians have an edge in the pitching. The Tigers have an edge in the hitting. But I think the Guardians' edge in pitching, to me, outside of Skubal, is significantly bigger. But they have Skubal for one of the 3 games, so that's a big difference. I would probably pick the Guardians either way. Maybe I'm just prisoner of the moment. You know, if the Tigers kind of reset them, they were the better team by a lot for most of this year. But they have not played well at all the second half, and especially down the stretch. And that's a big reason why I like the Guardians in this series.
Yeah, I think home and away in baseball is, I think, the least of all the home field advantages.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it matters. It's more about, with baseball, it's more about, there's something about, if it's a close game, having the last licks, matters. Like, this is a silly comparison, but I'll bring it up anyway. For my baseball league, the game is suspended and we're going to extra innings. And I feel like, since we're the home team, I feel like it's an advantage. Not because of crowd noise, obviously, but just knowing how many runs you got to get in the bottom of the inning is big. As opposed to when you're at the top of the inning, you're like, oh my God, we got to get more. We got to get more because we don't know how many runs the other team is going to score.
Yeah, I agree
so
with
that's
that.
I think that's a big part of it. All right, Mike, let's get the super chats.
We got a bunch of super chats, so let's run through these. By the way, the game starts at 1:08.
Yeah.
So we are going to have the world's – actually, you know what? My interview with Kenny Atkinson is debuting on the channel at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
No overtime, so we can get out of there, get back and watch the game.
Yeah, that'd be great.
108.
Yeah, good.
So tonight at 6 o'clock, my interview with Kenny Atkinson drops on our YouTube channel. Kenny was awesome. Make sure you check that out for Media Day. We got him for about 9 minutes. Some really good stuff from Kenny. That'll be on our YouTube page in place of an overtime today. But it's for everybody, not just members. For everybody.
And let me just say real quick for you, the super chats, immediately after the game, within a couple of minutes, join me on my Bet Rivers podcast. I will be live as soon as the game is over. And then at roughly 7 o'clock, give or take, I'll let you know on social media, we'll have the Ultimate Cleveland Guardian show. So I'll be live solo on my podcast doing an instant reaction. Zach will be down in the clubhouse talking with players, coaches, the manager. And then he'll come back to the press box at Progressive Field, and he and I will do a Ultimate Cleveland Guardian show. So we'll let you know the exact time when we have it, but it'll probably, I'll say, around sometime between 6:30, 7:30 tonight.
There's also an Ultimate Brown show tonight, so plenty of
What time
extra
is Ultimate Browns? 5?
5.
Ultimate Browns at 5. You got everything covered.
So you got 5 Browns, 6 Kenny Atkinson interview, 7 o'clock Ultimate Guardian.
4 o'clock
show.
my live post game. 5 o'clock Ultimate Browns, 6 o'clock Kenny Atkinson, 7 o'clock Ultimate Guardians. Look at that.
Go.
We got you covered.
Super chats. Austin Colin says, Skubal's going down tonight like scuba. Pause. Go Guards.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah,
the Hot Saucer says, Bull, good luck with your weight loss surgery. I'm getting mine soon.
Oh, wow. Good.
Shout out to
you as well.
Shout out to
James Mace Jr. says, Ty and G, how come we don't see 400-yard passing games in the NFL anymore?
Because some safeties playing back 20 yards.
We
deep
got
in
that
there.
locked
You gotta
up. We
dig
not
and
letting
go.
you get that off.
I like it. We got to change something up. We need more
Honestly,
400-yard
what it
passing
is
games.
is that the defense caught up to the offense. You know, I was watching this interview of Cooper Kupp talk about it. He said it kind of started when Sean McVay was with the Rams. Like that's when offenses was scoring a lot of points. They was getting a lot of yards, with him, Kyle Shanahan, and all those guys. And as you've seen for the past couple of years, defenses have caught up, and you're not seeing those explosive plays anymore because teams are really big on dinking and dunking your way down the field.
I think another issue, I'm curious what you guys think about this real quick. I think the defensive linemen are becoming too athletic for the offensive linemen.
Yes.
And they're rotating so much that they're fresh.
Did you see Denver have 3 people rush and the Bengals had 6 people protect?
I saw that.
And both tackles got beat immediately off.
I thought they both jumped off sides, but they didn't.
The defensive linemen are freaks, and by the way, they're getting. There's no such thing as box safeties anymore. They're playing corner level guys.
I'm telling you, with the NFL,
years ago.
I know this is sacrilege, and people are going to lose their mind when I say this, but the league wants offense. That's good for business.
Yes.
They might need to consider playing 12-on-11 with a 6 offensive lineman.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Offensive
I know
line
it's crazy.
play across the league is bad.
What's that?
Offensive line play across the league.
It's horrible. So I don't actually know if that's going to help.
All right.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. Next super chat, Mike Ricksecker says, is there any chance Jim Schwartz would leave after this season so his talents aren't wasted in Cleveland?
I guess he could get a head coaching job.
If he get a head coaching job, that'd be the only reason.
Yeah.
But
James Mace Jr. says, is it possible to start Gabriel, and if it doesn't go well, they can go back to Joe?
That makes no sense. They could, but that'd be so stupid.
But it don't make sense. You might as well, if he's struggling, just let him finish the game out.
Yeah.
How do you pull him out? He struggles. You're going to pull him out after 2 quarters?
Yeah, come on.
That's crazy. You don't want him to play under those circumstances. That's nuts.
You broke up with your girlfriend for a reason, dog.
Yeah.
Stop.
I want to give Bill,
by the way, there was one time I broke up. I feel like this is a G. Bush move, but maybe not. There was one time I had a girlfriend. We'd been dating like a year. Mm-hmm. This is long before I met my wife. I broke up with her. I went home. I'm going to keep it 100 here. I was in tears. I broke up with her. I was crying. I felt horrible. I later that day I bought flowers, went back, and we got back together.
Overreact.
We got a million super chats.
And then I broke up with her again a month later. It was a bad job.
A million super chats. We got to give Bill Rodewalt credit. He did call it last week with the super chat, saying the Browns should trade for Cam Robinson, and they did. So shout out to
him. I'm about to say,
Bill
somebody
Rodewalt.
definitely said that.
It was Bill Rodewalt. Dragon the Abandoner said Flacco was throwing for 300 yards every game in 2023. Kirk Davis says the only thing that was good this week was the Bengals getting tossed around by the Broncos. Go Browns, #fire Stefanski.
Well, what about the Ravens losing? Wasn't that good too?
Forsman47 says Flacco threw for 290 yards in the first game. Are we really going to argue 10 yards is the difference between him being fine with 300-yard benchmark and the 2020 offense was good, obviously a while ago, but come on.
That was a fraudulent 290 in week.
Miss Bell 70 says 92.3 said Shador wasn't in the quarterback competition and offensive line looked horrible in camp. DG quick pass with a good O-line. Shador won with a bad O-line. Welcome weird. We've been waiting for it.
What's the good offensive line? There is no good offensive line.
DJ Step 1 says, has the NFL caught on to the Shanahan offense?
Yeah, I also think it's funny when people say 92.3 the fan said, as opposed to like Daryl said or Ken said or Lima said.
It's a conglomerate.
Yeah.
Kirk Davis says, I wish we can trade coaches. I'd trade Stefanski, a third-round pick, and Deshaun Watson, plus 2 second-round picks for Tom Brady head coach and offensive coordinator Todd Monken. And
Tom Brady would
Shador at 12. Shador at quarterback.
You can't trade coaches.
Yeah, guys that are that good as players are rarely good coaches.
Larry Bird was pretty good as coach.
He was
to the finals.
One of the very few.
Yeah.
Most great players are terrible coaches.
Yeah.
Jason Cromley says, so our offense scores on first drives because we collectively plan out 15 plays. Then after that, Kevin calls the rest of the game. He can't call a game. Kevin fails after the prep is over. Miss Bell 70 said, Jay said if DG is bad, back to Flacco, delirious.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Skilly says, I heard Aaron may wrestle. That's awesome. If he gets serious about it, I can help him. I used to coach him. Was a 3-time national qualifier.
Oh, cool. Who's that?
Skilly, our guy Skilly.
Oh, Skilly.
I can put you in touch with. I can put you in touch with
Skilly for the first time.
Good for him.
A couple more. Derek Waldmiller says, I'm ready for the USSR propaganda when Deshaun comes back because he will play, and you already know we're going to hear about his good footwork and his zip very soon.
Come on now. Talk
USSR
about it.
only spreads
do we need to see
political
the video?
propaganda.
Do we need to see the video?
2 more real quick. James Mace Jr. says, Barry Bonds, did Barry Bonds played well in the playoffs. They didn't ever pitch to him.
That year he played against the Angels, Barry Bonds hit like 10 home runs, something stupid.
And our guy, Kyle Brenner, the homie, says that Ruggiero ad was hard. Pause.
Wow.
Well played, Kyle.
There you go.
Well played, Kyle.
That's good.
All right, we got 1 minute and 22 seconds left. Bull.
Yeah.
Give us, with as much detail as possible, how today's Guardians-Tigers Game 1 plays out.
So Gavin Williams shuts down the Tigers 1-2-3 with a pair of strikeouts in the first inning. The crowd is absolutely on fire. Stephen Kwan gets a base hit to start the bottom of the first. 1 out later, Jose Ramirez will hit a 2-run homer to give the Guardians a 2-0 lead. It will stay 2-0 to the 7th inning, where the Guardians will put up a 3-spot. Tigers will grab a surprise run in the 8th off a Hunter Gaddis, and the Guardians will 2 runs in the 8th off a Hunter Gaddis, and the Guardians will win 5-2. There you go. Lock it in.
Okay.
We are back tomorrow. We have Ross Tucker on the show.
Yeah, good.
We're going to play a little...
Zach Meisel, right?
What?
Is Zach coming on tomorrow?
I don't think Zach can come on tomorrow because it's
weird timing.
It's just the timing doesn't work out, but we're lucky to have Zach with the post-game show each and every day after these Guardians games. So we'll get plenty of Zach. But we're going to do a ton of Guardians. We're going to react. We're going to preview Game 2.
Yeah.
And go Guards.
Dustin, right?
Playoff baseball.
Yeah.
Dustin's in for Tyvis.
Go
tomorrow.
Guards.
Playoff baseball.
Let's get it done.
Yes, sir.
Get this game, baby.
He'd be like, not me.